Hello and welcome to the Apex Racing TV esports studio and our coverage of Season 8 of the Apex Racing League GT3 trophy. After a couple of months of break, the series returns with two new GT3s in the form of the Mustang and the Corvette, and along with the possibility of rain for the first time in an ARL series. Over the course of the next 10 rounds, myself, Southwest Patrick, and David Sampson will be bringing you through all the action, and we start off with a 75-minute race at Watkins Glen International Circuit tonight, just a day before the 6 hours event on iRacing. David, fantastic to be back. We've got a bumper field for this, 3 classes, many new drivers, many new teams as well, and it should be one of our most entertaining series, as it was back in Season 7 as well.
Yep, pleasure to be here. Obviously I took part in this event many seasons ago. You'll probably remember the season number. I'm going to say 5.
4 or 5, yeah,
4 or
that's
5,
about
yeah.
5 sounds about right.
Yeah, excellent track, excellent schedule actually. I'm especially excited for Portimao, a newer track, but obviously Watkins Glen, one of my favourites, I'm going to say. I think on paper it just doesn't read as like a big, fun, multi-class track, but you drive it and you don't need someone else's opinion. Yeah, really excited. We've got a big grid, 60 cars almost.
It's 60 cars. Well, not necessarily tonight all in one go, but 60 signups. Yeah, an absolute bumper field, maximum signups for this series. Let's have a look then at the calendar that we've got, because I think you're absolutely right, David. It is a very good one. Next week is a little bit of a left ball. Portimao, which will be our first Apex Racing League visit there, was actually meant to be Le Mans, but iRacing recently changed the IMSA schedule, so Portimao is visited instead. And then Daytona, Spa, Nürburgring, Imola, Hockenheim, Road America, and then those last 2 rounds will be decided when the next season results or next season schedule is out, because this will be taking us all the way into September by the time that the season ends.
Yeah, it'll be exciting. Oh yeah, I just remember the Le Mans clash. I think it was IMSA and GTs were for some reason scheduled at the same time, and then they fixed it. So yeah, big change.
But Portimao, I'm happy with Portimao.
Excellent track, yeah.
Very, very good. Of course, we've got 2 new cars for this season. We've got the Mustang and the Vet. And looking at the drivers signing up, the Mustang, we were thinking could dominate in terms of the signups. It hasn't quite. It's got about 15 signups out of 60, which is a good amount. We've got a good balance across all the categories. And then the Corvette, about 10 drivers as well signing up in that. So it's good to see that these new cars are not OP as such, but they're still very much competitive for these drivers to tackle.
Yeah, the BOP used for the iRacing 6 looks quite well balanced. Like when I checked the sign-up sheet, there's a really good mix of cars. Obviously, it is lovely seeing the Ford name. I've mentioned this before, but we don't usually see the Ford name more than once per year on a league schedule, so it's really nice. But yeah, we've got a great mix of cars, lots of cars actually. Looking forward to seeing how the newer cars perform in the hands of all the drivers.
Absolutely. Welcome to everyone in chat, by the way, as well. Kevin Kittleman supporting his Indy Autosport teammates, and Simon Livingston as well. Both of them will be racing later on. But we've also got the possibility of rain as well. I think that's probably the biggest change for this season, David. We are not necessarily fixing the weather, whether it's going to be wet or dry like we have done in the official, or like how the officials were mainly last season. It's pretty much random in terms of each round. The drivers get an idea by the forecasted weather, but it could be wet or dry pretty much any round. We can confirm for this round it is going to be dry. Totally random weather, but there's a 0% chance of rain. So unless the iRacing system is wrong, it will not rain for this event. But I think it should offer some alternative races later on. Hopefully some good strategies involved later on in the season.
Yeah, exactly that. Not knowing, like, even if we come into a race and the average is 23% chance, and the drivers, until they turn up, aren't going to know if it's going to be wet at the start or dry at the start, and how the transition period's going to be, how long is it going to take. So yeah, I think it's going to throw up some really good racing, and it gives a lot of drivers a good opportunity to test the waters before officials, so to speak.
Sure. Absolutely. Well, we've had a bit of, well, I was going to say guess there, but no, these are estimations of our picks for this season. David came very close in the Porsche Cup Championship to getting them all correct. In the end, he got none of them correct, but he was second, and second. So he did pretty well last time. But these are our picks. And in the pro category, I've gone for Anders Meyer. Won many races in the last couple of seasons. Sometimes his attendance can let him down, but certainly has got the potential. Max Wolf, awesome to see him back, former teammate of mine, so I'm going to be, biased towards him slightly. Adam Coles, veteran for Indy Autosport and Absolute Motorsport, very strong Italian team who did fairly well last season.
Yes, indeed. I have gone for my pro choice as Vin Glen. Whenever I've raced against him, it's usually he does an all-week push like I would do, where he turns up to every race, he pushes very hard, very strong driver. I think that was an easy pick of mine. My pro-am, Mark Hutchinson, he's in all the Apex leagues, I think, as well.
Particularly the Friday night ones. Yeah, he's done he's done prototype. He did the last season of GT3, didn't he? And now he's doing this one.
Yeah, and every time I've seen him, he's always, again, been a strong driver. So that was, again, an easy pick for me. My AM pick is maybe a bit biased, but Aaron drives for the Sam Sword Simsport team, so a bit of a shout out to him, but I'm hoping he can do well. I know he can, so let's see. And my team pick really, Racing Lab forced my hand. Very strong team. I think I'm onto a winner there.
I think the teams is super competitive this season. Like, I think often we have one or two who are like a bit like Porsche Cup. Admittedly, last season we were thinking, oh yeah, these teams are probably going to win. But Absolute Motorsport, ADX have got two teams who could be very competitive.
Yeah.
We've got two altitude teams in there. A couple of Delatraz teams, which I think maybe actually a lot of people would go for. Lucas Tellman recently won the sports car title and he's driving for those teams, and many, many others who are going to have a good chance. So yeah, that should be something really good to watch out for later on in the evening. But let's have a look at our track as well that we have for tonight. Watkins Glen needs no introduction really. Everyone knows it, everyone likes it.
Yeah, I'm stoked for the 6 hour tomorrow. I've been racing this all week. It's had like a small % chance of rain, so most of them have been dry, but the one that was wet I thoroughly enjoyed, as you know. I think it's an excellent track. I love the bus stop. T1 obviously is hyper important. Everyone talks about, oh, shall I reduce the wing? Like, watch the wing. No, it's more important you now T1. So much more. 6 kph more than your wing level. So yeah, hyper important. T2's a nothing corner if it's dry, because you can use the left or the right lane. And then it's just about being very smooth on the run to the bus stop and building up the guts to push it as hard as you can. Because that's what I think. I actually think it's a confidence corner. If the more you push the bus stop, you're going to survive. Once you start hesitating and your eyes are scattering around because you're nervous of your line, you can be in big trouble really quickly.
Sure, and you'll know this better than me, but is it still basically a case of you got to take all the curbs to survive?
No, so the 3D curbs are here now. This is new to the track. The first curb, obviously it's still a big curb, but it's so much safer than it used to be.
Sure.
Because I had a line in the race where I missed the optimal line, and in the old I would have died, I feel. But it's still a bump. You can still die if you're steering and when you go over it. The second curb and third curb are a bit taller in a prototype, so this should be okay in GTs, but in a prototype you shouldn't hit them head on. But in a GT, the third one, so you take the first, avoid the second, that third one, it is still too much for a GT. If they hit it 4-1, when they land, they're going to snap in the wall, or they'll save it and snap in the other wall.
Sure.
There's
and
no
then ricochet back in the circuit and 5 others will be involved.
Correct. There is, yeah, they cannot take it full curb.
Sure, definitely. By the way, apparently Adam Coles is laughing because I picked him. So it's it's a nice little a confidence boost hopefully for him for this season. Thank you to Kevin for letting us know about that one. And Anders Meyer as well, not appreciating the commentator's curse that we have placed on him for predicting him to win the championship. A couple of those drivers currently in the pits at the moment. They're not out on circuit, they're not driving because of our qualifying format, where it's the AM drivers, the Pro-Am drivers, and then the Pro drivers. And we will transfer over to qualifying just after this next break in order to show you all the coverage for the half-hour qualifying session.
Are you struggling for consistency in your sim racing? Does your iRating look like a roller coaster? If so, we have good news for you. The way to get more consistent is to first understand what you're doing differently than the professionals. And VRS is the answer. With our competitive subscription, you will have the telemetry, setups, tutorials, and everything else you need to fully analyze your driving. Our data packs and the ability to compare your driving with the best in the world will show you exactly where to adjust your inputs, change your driving line, and shave seconds off of your lap times. And our powerful and precise Direct Force Pro wheelbase and precision pedals are being used by some of the world's best drivers. All these champions agree that VRS hardware is not just the best on the market, it's also priced well below the competition. So if you're looking to upgrade to direct drive and the best pedals in sim racing, VRS is your answer. If you want to get better, get faster, and make it happen sooner rather than later, you owe it to yourself to find out why so many people are switching to VRS. You'll be so glad that you did. Visit www.virtualracingschool.com and learn why the best use VRS.
Welcome to Watkins Glen for the opening round of the championship. And there was a chance of rain, like I said earlier on, there's a chance of rain at each of these events for this season, but it is dry as anything for this one. In fact, it's very warm, 46.67 degrees Celsius. That is, I'm not sure if I've ever seen it warmer than that, 47 degrees. Well, no, maybe Interlagos, I think it can get above 50, can't it?
I've seen 61 Interlagos.
Really? I think the highest I've seen is like 52.
Me and TK, Tony Kanan were doing officials that week in GTE, and there was a BMW Sim Cup race coming up, and our philosophy was almost like, oh, we don't need to prep, we've raced it all week, and it was like 38, 40. I jump into a Sim Cup practice session, it was 61. I sent him a message saying, mate, sorry, but not only do you need to practice, we need to work on the set.
Sure.
It was brutal. To be honest, it was slipperier than rain is now.
Sure.
That's how bad it was back then in the GTEs. It was just awful. Yeah, they're going to be feeling it. So 75-minute race while the guys are driving. Then I'll tell you a quick story about the tyres here. So during IMSA, my first, I did like 8 this week. My first, I finished with my front left on 6%. Just my front left.
And these are 45-minute races?
Correct, with a pit stop, yeah. And the guy in front of me, 6K, very rapid, doing well, picked up a meatball.
Oh, wow, he went that low, did he?
I wondered why he pitted, went to his camera, yeah, and then like 2 laps from the end, you could hear the worst sound imaginable. So, yeah, they're going to need to be very careful on their tyres. Obviously, this was in prototype. This was in LMP2, so I'm not 100% sure. I did do a BOP test in all the cars, but I didn't do sort of tyre life.
Well, it's a 75-minute race, but there's no fuel restrictions, so the drivers can go very far on a tank of fuel. They should be able to go about 55 minutes on a tank of fuel, so they're only going to have to put about 20 minutes of fuel in later on. So tyres will be a disadvantage to take, but I would imagine they will be taking them. It will be such an advantage come the end of the race.
So the problem in LMP2, you cannot just take lefts. If you take lefts, you might as well take all, because the fronts go on at the same time and the rears go on at the same time, and we really would like lefts, so I just took fronts. That was my strat all along. But yeah, this is a tyre graining track. There's no doubt about it. This is one of the four big ones, and the nature of the circuit as well really puts a lot of beat through that left.
Simon Andre Livingston, good qualifying for him. He is up there in 2nd place, but it is a new driver, Faisal Ayach, who is at the top. And of course, we will give everyone 1 minute to think, what is that flag? Because it may be a new addition to ARL. David's looking at his screen, not knowing where it is, but don't tell them where it is yet, David. We'll give them a minute to put any predictions in the YouTube chat.
Yes, indeed. It's a good lap time. Very close, actually. 2/10 to the front 4. Actually, it's close all the way down. It's good to see.
It is, and of course, that's the AM qualifying done. So those who are new to the series, and I'm hoping that none of the drivers make this mistake, the first 10 minutes are for the AM drivers, the next 10 minutes are for the Pro-AM drivers, and the final 12 minutes are for the Pro drivers. And you might be asking, well, why do the Pro drivers get more time?
Special.
Well, yeah, because they're better drivers, so they deserve more time. No, the reason why they get it is because the timer ends at the 32 minutes.
Correct.
So you
So
can't complete the lap that you start. So it's
yeah, the AMs get longer than we led on because they can finish the line if they cross with 1 second left.
So technically, the pros do get an extra 15 seconds because the lap round here is 1 minute 45. But this is the most fair way.
15 if you cross the line at moments before the check-in. Yeah. It's on board. If we can try getting on board, we'll follow one of these drivers.
Well, we were going to go on board, but it's been realised that I forgot to do the cameras for this car. So this will look better next week.
I mean, that's a good camera angle. You should have sold it. It's like, no, I've committed to this.
No, now you're just insulting my cameras because you're saying the iRacing default ones are better. So I don't appreciate that.
So let's see, full commitment over the curb. That's what we're hoping for. Yep, and a glance. Always taking a lot and a lot. Okay, yeah, that's fine, but it was quite slow because he's missing that left curb to really hook you around and commit early. So this is the Ford Mustang. Have you heard this thing from cockpit car? Have you actually?
So one of the so on the Apex Racing Team Instagram page, and a few people may have seen this. Lewis Ford did a very funny meme of the sound of the Mustang. It's now got 110,000 views on our Instagram page. And I think about 100,000 on TikTok as well. So yes, it is quite loud.
It is ridiculous, yeah. I use my OBS levels to make sure my streams, everything's okay, and it's the first car I've ever had to make a tweak for.
But it's an odd one because all the cars in iRacing are sort of the same volume because obviously they don't want it so that you have to change your settings every time you get in the car. So, for example, back when the GTEs were very big, the Porsche, and I know I've witnessed it in real life myself, the Porsche is so loud compared to the BMW. Like, the BMW makes no noise, the Porsche screams the GTE. You have it in iRacing, the decibel level, pretty much the same. Because obviously, it's just... So I dare I say it's a mistake from iRacing? I don't know, but yeah, it is loud.
These laps coming in, we're watching the AM drivers fall fast.
Yeah, this is not what we expected. Ayach was in the top 10 overall in practice, but he's barely top 10 at the start of the Pro-Am qualifying.
Yeah, 10th right now. Seen some tight times at the top, 44.7 from David Muller, 7 also for Daniel Dennison, 8s coming in from Mark Hutchinson and David Schillim. Very tight at the top. Seen a nice mix of cars. Actually, I'm going to turn on so I can
that's
see
a good idea, yeah. We didn't need that for Porsche Cup, did we?
We did not.
No, we can now see the manufacturers. Will make a difference.
So my feeling was that it would be the Audis, the Lambos, Audis, and then, yeah, Porsche and Ford would be the picks, but seeing Tim in 5th with the Vet, I didn't mind that here. I mean, I haven't had a play with the open setups yet, just the fixed. Can't say I'm in love with the Corvette's fixed set. I mean, it's safe, but it's safe all the time.
Sure.
And I don't like that.
A man with a fork in a world full of soup has correctly said Lebanon is the flag.
It is, yeah.
So congratulations on that one. Karamadaru Andrei Bogdan, supporting Walk Racing Esports, of course, the team manager of Walk Racing Esports. Hopefully you are well, Karamadaru. And of course, the first man, and this is quite the honour, Karamadaru, to say that the drivers should be promoted. So that will not be the first time we hear that. And yes, well done for getting in there first, Karamadaru.
I see Nicolai Agard's back for this series, P4 at the moment. As David Schilling goes quickest with a 4, so he's put himself a nice margin out in the lead.
Of course, Agard was the AM champion last season, so that is why he's in the Pro-Ams. Also, we've promoted Jonathan Cook to the Pro-Ams for this season because he was so fast come the end of the championship.
Thought I recognised the name.
Of course, he had that horrible Montreal round, if you remember. His VR broke at Montreal, and it denied him a chance of winning the championship. But yes, I think he might be on triples now.
Gosh. Or he spent the money on the Mustang. One of the two.
Or that. Also joined for ADX Racing Esport, which is cool to see. ADX with a lot of sorts of Italian drivers, I think. But Jonathan joining their ranks and goes 10th.
Livingston in chat is saying the track is slippery, and yes,
I'm
high
surprised.
temps. Yeah.
Although it's got a lot cooler. It's down to 42.78 now. So maybe that's why the Pro-Ams are going quite so fast, because we've lost 4 degrees of track temperature.
Then the AMs will riot.
Yes.
Yes,
Well,
as long as you're happy with that.
Well, it should balance out as the season goes on. Some races will be getting
Yeah, I
cooler.
agree.
I mean, there will be a track, and I mean, this will be interesting when it's getting drier
Yeah.
or wetter during qualifying.
Yeah, no,
The
I mean, our racers are going to have to learn this. With Tempest, things are changing. I mean, I've seen sessions go up where it's raining, and you know, the session opens and it's raining. But if you sit in your box for queue just a little bit and just wait for the rain to pass and you head out, most other guys are a lap and a half deep into an out lap and started their fast lap deep into the wet, and you're just waiting for the track to just slowly dry out that little bit. Seen a lot of Fords. It is a good car. It's not for me yet. I mean, I haven't found a setup that I'm blown away by with it. I don't like it in the rain, so I don't know about it being a pick for this entire season. I don't know. We'll see. It may prove me wrong. But for me, if I was racing this event, it would be Lambo all day long. Although I prefer the Audi in the rain like tenfold.
Sure.
And the Porsche I prefer in the rain to the Lambo as well, but so maybe I'd pick the Audi. I'm not sure.
So David Schilling currently at the top of the standings. He was very quick in practice as well. He was almost matching the pro drivers actually with Schilling earlier on. David Moeller in second place. Was strong last season, was Moeller. I think he finished 3rd or 4th in the championship. Because Pro-Am champion last season was Michael Hooper, and he has been promoted to the Pros, so he'll be coming out a little bit later on. But a few of these drivers now starting their final laps in the Pro-Am category. Hutchinson with a little bit of a draft from the car ahead. That might help him a bit, but it might be a bit of a distraction as well.
Draft? iRacing? I don't know what you're talking about, mate. No, in LMP2 there's nothing. In GT3, I'm not sure. I think dirty air around this track is worse than anything you're going to gain. I'm not sure though. As I say, I've not really raced the GTs here this season. Done a lot of testing, but I am pumped for the 6 hour though. It's just one of my favourite tracks.
Yeah.
For multi-class. In the rain, this was just race of the season for me. Like unbelievable. I didn't think anything. I thought Suzuka was going to take the biscuit of the last 2 seasons for me with the mixed conditions, but this is just
Is the weather confirmed for tomorrow?
Yep, like the first 2.5 hours are dry, and then the rain escalates, but obviously it's random. But then it does hit 100% chance at like the 3.5 hour mark, so then we know it's definitely raining, and then it peters off. But again, we don't know when, because it's, you know, people are seeing it like, oh, it's raining till. No, 60% with a downward skyline all the way. If it stops, right? You know, like the percent of rain.
Sure.
Do you know what I mean? It's weird to think about.
Well, in like real life forecasts, when it says 60% chance of rain, doesn't mean there's 60% chance of rain. As far as I'm aware, it's 60% of the area will be saturated at any one time.
That's what I got told.
Like it's 60% like rain cover, if you will.
I always understood it as if 5% chance of rain doesn't mean there's 5% chance of it. It means there's 100% chance of rain, 5% it'll hit you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't know if iRacing necessarily follows that, or whether it is a bit more of a basic system, but yeah, one would hope it does.
See this yellow line? That yellow line that crosses the track there, the pit entry thing? In the wet, you have to go around it. And I mean...
Oh, really? Yeah.
I blew my chance for pole, top split rain. I got P2, but I slid complete sideways on that stupid yellow line.
Well, Daniel Ash wasn't affected by it. He moves up to 5th place, and so Schilling does win out in the Pro-Am qualifying.
Yeah.
No, you know what, actually? No, a few more drivers have got times to set, so I am being a bit preemptive here, but I think Schilling is looking good. Agard and Mikkelsen are on laps, though, so there could still be improvements.
To be clear, the yellow line's fine in the dry. It's just, yeah.
Oh, yeah, I knew that.
Yeah, okay, it was very clever transition.
I was segueing.
Yeah, it was very clever. Just wait, someone, in case someone's listening, like, wait, I have to avoid the yellow line? Yeah, great pace from David, though.
Perry moves up to P7. Schilling was unable to improve, and so too was Agard and Mikkelsen. So that is everyone bar Carbonari, as apparently Caserta may have been out on track already. So, a bit of suspiciousness here. One of our returning drivers as well, so you wouldn't have thought Marcello would be the one to make a mistake with the qualifying, but a potential penalty for Marcello. What I will say is that everyone else has done a fantastic job at not making mistakes, because in Porsche Cup, we had about half of many drivers and about 10 of them messed it up, whereas in this we've got 60 drivers and only one penalty I think will be given.
Yeah, maybe just thought it was AM and Pro, you know. Perhaps he knew he had to wait, but just didn't wait to the right time.
Sure. So this is Finn Hort, one of the new drivers, driving for Maguire's team, who I think we have had in previous championships, but they've got a big roster of drivers for this series, which is very, very good. And they are now on their first 5 laps.
Good choice in the Porsche, I think, around here. It's just a bit lackluster in a straight line, but it doesn't really matter with this track as long as you hook up T1, I always feel.
Well, I was having a chat with Adam Hedgecock earlier on, and he was saying this will be a bit of a fuel-saving fest because overtaking will be tricky. And personally, I prefer the layout without the inner loop.
Oh,
Because
yeah.
overtaking is way more possible. But
No, it's not. It
is though. Like, what? Don't gaslight me here. Like, this is. It is. You can't defend because the outside line is OP. At least on the old scan it was.
Yeah.
I think on the new scan it is a bit. But the bus stop is one line. You can't dive. There's no braking.
Yeah, okay. So how long? 75-minute race. I'm just trying to think what you said about the fuel.
Yeah.
I mean, it's going to play a part for sure, but qualifying's king.
Yeah.
Obviously. Yeah, it is hard to overtake here, for sure. In LMP2, there's almost no overtaking unless someone makes a mistake. It's very difficult.
So my pick for the championship, Anders Meyer, goes to the pole position. Your pick down in 14th place. We'll see if that changes over the next 10 rounds. Ort's up into 2nd place, but Schilling once again up there in the Pro-Ams. And we can say the track has actually warmed up again. Went from 47 down to 43. It's back up to 45 now. So maybe the Pro-Am did have a slight advantage in this qualifying session.
Yeah, maybe. Good lap from Myers, though, giving him almost a 10th gap. But Horp and Meyer do have really nice pace. But yeah, Schilling's lap is that could yield him a lot of points over his teammates for round 1.
Yeah, that could be very, very good for him. By the way, we have now lost all the AMs from the leaderboard, but we can confirm that it was Faisal Ayach who got the pole position in the amateur category. You can follow the live timing, I believe, using the link in the description. I think there should be a link there. And I think it might be posted in the YouTube chat as well during the event. And you can view all the cars who are taking part in the race with that link. It is very useful to use. And as Meyer, with a toe, can he get any more time shaved off? He can. Goes another 10th faster and to 1st place. Rosseth, who I think was giving him the draft, he goes to 3rd.
He must be loving this. Usually drives the BMW, right? Is it?
Meyer?
Yeah, I think so. Used to. In the previous... What was we doing in the...
Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah, I tend to think of him as Porsche, but yeah, I think last season he was in the BMW. But very few BMWs, only 2 BMWs for this season.
Oh no, what a shame. Race cars only. Very few Ferraris as well. They're sleeping on that.
I don't think there's any.
No, I see Sidor, but... So just to confirm that the bot that iRacing supplied for the 6 hour, the worst hit is the Ferrari.
Sure.
But it's quite tricky around here. It's much nicer to have the Italian choices, although the Ford's doing really well. But it's in the hands of some very good drivers, though.
So yeah, many of the drivers going back to the pits now. A few of them are continuing, including Anders Meyer, actually. Of course, the drivers can tow back, so there's no point in really doing an in-lap. You may as well just tow back and do an out-lap again as Mark Lopez Delgado hits the wall. And even if that lap was still going to be decent, he picked up a 0x and therefore had no chance of continuing. Michael Hooper, our champion in the Pro-Am category from last season, with some work to do, currently down in 22nd place.
He's warming his tyres in a 45-degree track centre. Okay. They must be freezing. Yep, so we'll see. He's going to have... Yeah, he'll have time for just... Oh, he should have time for 2, right? Yeah, he will. Depends how much he's fueled for, obviously. Oof, we've got Mercedes. I struggled in the BOP here this week.
Very few Mercedes, aren't there? There is Eric Josh and Artem Udod.
It's just tricky in the wet. The BMW, the Mercedes, and the Ford, to be honest. I mean, I haven't had as much time in the Ford. My Ford testing was sort of 5 laps at Road Atlanta in the rain after I did all the officials. Yeah, the Mercedes and BMW just so tricky in the wet. I don't know if that's just a thing in real life as well, like if it's accurate. Looks like the vet's going for a draft here. Where's Eric sitting at the moment? P30, so he's got... Yeah, he needs this.
Yeah, and a clean track in front of him is probably the best way to do that. Joined from Nürburgring Esports, team who have seen pop up quite a bit. They were another team whose name I forget. But they did take part in a few series. Oh, that's going to be annoying. Anyone in chat can help us out. But they have been around for a while, have Nürburgring Esports. But I've got a few staff members who drive for the team as well.
We had an interview with one, didn't we?
Yes, in the Porsche Cup season last season. Off the back of the Nürburgring round, the championship, are visiting Nürburgring GP as well later on in this season. Josh maybe with a 1X, or maybe not happy with that lap, giving up on it and giving away track position.
Do you like this track, Sam? You seem to hate good tracks, so I assume you don't like this one.
What are you talking about? What do good tracks don't like about Daytona?
Sebring, Daytona.
Yeah, those two. I think that's it.
Just 2, okay.
Yeah, as Hort stays in second. No, I really like this place. Really like this place.
Do you miss the off-track? The old Scan had off-tracks everywhere. I know T1, for everything but T1. Now you can just track out off the curbs.
I don't mind it, but oh, look at that. Ustland is really close. Really good effort there from Rasmus.
Deutsche Payment was the old name.
Deutsche
Nick,
Payment,
well done, yeah.
Well done, Nick. Thank you.
I would have got there in the end.
Nick, can't you man be out on track? Nick Glenn, sorry, not Vin Glenn. I assume, Nick, you are maybe Vin's brother. One would think. Let us know, Nick, but thank you for that information. I prefer... So yeah, I remember driving in the BSR Radical Winter Series Championship on my route to the title and that,
yep.
And the turn 1 used to be so satisfying with the way that the curb worked because you had to drive around the curb.
Right, yeah,
Whereas
yeah.
now you sort of ride it half, almost like half pike it. So it's not quite as satisfying, I think. But I don't mind the lack of 1Xs.
Okay. Yeah,
If it's tarmac, use it.
T1's T1, but the rest of it, yeah, it just doesn't feel like it's not. Apart from I think the only one is like where you can completely leave the track, but you just got to come back in time before the grass clipping, and that's the only 1X.
Yeah, the heel.
Yep. Can be a bit frustrating.
Nick Glenn confirming he is his father.
Oh,
so,
brilliant.
Yeah, glad to have you along, Nick.
Vin was my pro pick, so hoping he does well. Actually, I've raced him a bunch, absolute bunch. He was always very quick.
He's not going very quick now, is he?
I think he was just parking it to let him by.
Oh, you don't think this is a hot lap? Well, I mean, this would be a strange line.
I think he's got 1 shot left.
Yeah.
The temp dropped a degree. I mean, it's still hotter than the Pro-Am session. And then Porsche lights red on the front. Like, how do you do that on livery? Like, I'm confused. I've seen it twice now, and now I'm very convinced that their livery is red, and they've somehow got red lights.
Oh, the red lights.
Yeah, how did they do that? Can you tint something?
Is that... I'm not sure.
I definitely saw red lights.
No, I think you're right, yeah.
I mean, I want orange. Like, how do I do
sure
that?
That's not on... Maybe that's like a new option, I don't know. But, I mean... I remember in the GTEs when they brought the neon
Yeah,
lights.
especially the Ford as well. Oh my God.
The purple neon lights, like, and so good. So good.
I had someone who sent me a setup who was helping me with the Sebring endurance, and as a little bit of a troll, they changed my lights to, like, I forget, it was like pink and yellow. One side pink and one side yellow. And then night hit, I'm like, what is going on in our beautiful car?
Sure.
And that was their little thing they injected into the setup.
So Danny Neo just missed out on a chance to complete his lap time because 32 minutes was up. And so we will transfer over to the race. Ronald Grossman, by the way, in chat, of course, driver for Core Sim Racing, saying maybe it's the IMSA spec that makes the lights red on the Porsche. Maybe it is. Anders Meyer then on pole position, but by a fraction of a second ahead of Rasmus Östlund. And then in third place is Chris van der Nesse, another great qualifying for him. Of course, was always strong qualifying last season. There's Finn Hort, Eric Roseth, David Schilling, top of the Pro-Ams, Lucas Tailman, who won the Sports Car Championship recently, watch out for him, Joel Kleinecht, Ryan Martin, and Nikolai Agard, the AM champion from last season. There's Pierre Ubistu, Michael Hooper, the Pro-Am champion from last season. There's Alexander Mikkelsen, Danny Neo, Mark Lobet Delgado, David Moeller, Daniel Ash, Daniel Dennison, Tim Perry, Vin Glenn, Dominic Engel, watch out for him, he'll be gaining a lot of places, Matteo Carbonari, Lucas Seidor, Mark Hutchinson, Marcello Caserta, Sergio Arpaio, Jonathan Cook, Mauro De Molina, Faisal Ayach, who's top of the AMS. Then it's Josh, Livingston, Son, Zilk, Hodgson, Simonson, Back, Hedgecock, Grisek, Udod, Broderick, Fowler, Schlosser, Bortzlotzi, Guest, Nethery, Built, and Walsh. And we should have gone for the long formation there.
And it's white flag. Well done. Yeah, I don't know if you saw some pictures, but the grid is huge. Like, when they were actually sat still, you know, when do we get to see 60 cars? All right, so round in the last corner. That Porsche's going to dive in. Then it's up to the leader, I assume, or just start zone.
It is up to the leader, and he has chosen to go. And we are away racing for Season 8 of the Apex Racing League GT3 Trophy. And it is Anders Meyer who leads us into Turn 1. At least the front few drivers being fairly cautious. Let's see if that continues all the way down the order. We can easily get a quarter panel on the exit of Turn 1. And of course it is treacherous up the hill as well. At the moment, Meyer leading Östlund and van der Nesse. Lots of change behind that. Delgado up 4 places. He's the highest gainer. And Chris van der Nesse might be gaining a place as well. Oh, we've got a spinner in the background. And this could be disaster. It is a disaster. It is a disaster as the drivers try to scatter through. In fact, actually, most of the drivers managed to get to the side of the circuit. It could have been a lot worse.
Could have been a lot worse,
that impact. But I still think that's probably 6 or 7 drivers who will need to be taking their faster pair.
Yeah, wow, though the people involved managed to stay left and right, and the one guy in the middle managed to keep it very middle. And yeah, I mean, everyone slowed down, which is not usually the iRacing way. Usually yellow means opportunity.
We have got 6 drivers turning back to the pits. I think Dominic Engler was involved and Jonathan Cook as well. Yikes.
We'll get a replay of what started it. There was, and I saw an Audi going sideways, so we don't know if he lost it under his own or if it was tapped or if it was from another incident as well. But there was out of 2, right? Like, they were home straight.
Clear.
Yeah, they were clear. Just drive straight, guys. One on the left, one on the right.
Oh, that's another one round. That's an ADX car, I think.
Don't reverse. You can't reverse, mate. Yeah, you go forward.
Artem Udod. Oh, that's a shame for Artem. Or Walk Racing. It was not an ADX car. Ah, that's another driver with some damage. Is that Seb Guest, who is going very slowly? And is that Seb Guest? No, one behind him. Tim Perry. Tim Perry was involved in that. Now down 16 places and will need to take a pit stop. Quite a bad pit stop to take this one. It's a long pit lane.
Max is boxing as well. Backley.
I think we're going to have 10 drivers having to take repairs after that first lap.
Let's hope they remember to tick it.
So one could argue that's 5 out of 6 drivers didn't need repairs in the first lap, if we're being optimistic.
Yep. Big gainer from all that. Eric Trush and Stephenson up 11 and 10 respectively.
Yeah.
Obviously, everyone at the back is up a net rough here, up 11 position, so I'm sort of excluding that giant pack.
Yeah, sure.
It looks like the front 13 got away unaffected. My pick, Vin Glenn, is up 6 positions. He's the first of the gainers on top of the mid-pack, so that's great.
Is Faisal Ayach, leader of the AM drivers still. But there's a long queue of them. We've got, obviously, Pro for the top 7,
is,
then like Pros and AMs. And then we've just got a long line of like 15 AMs. But Ayach is going to try to end that right now because he's gone on the inside of Son and he's got past, and that rather breaks a very good-looking timing ball that we had. Ooh. As Vin Glenn has had a problem and he's collided with Daniel Ash.
Yeah, and that looked terminal on the rear of his car. He's going to definitely have to box fix that. He may not know yet, but he'll know after a lap. That looked like the slow speed left-hander, which is easy for someone just to get light, so it may have been a simple case of one of them just losing the rear and the other not noticing in time and them coming together. Hardest track in the corner to be consistent at.
Yeah,
and
I
not,
agree.
for me, like for the long runs, it's all about just not overheating your tyres because that is that corner that causes your entire race to get progressively harder.
Well, Glenn is moving his way back up through the order, so hopefully the damage isn't too bad. If he does want to come into the pits, he probably wants to leave it till about 20 minutes into the race so he can go to see the end of the event. Anyone who pits now will have to result in 1 extra pit stop. Here's Lars Freich, or Friesek, apologies, we will get these names. And he's going to have to go the long way round at the chicane. He backs out of it.
Bus stop.
In a loop. Many names.
In a loop.
Well, according to the official track map, you've got the inner loop and then it's the outer loop. But I tend to think of it as the bus stop and the carousel.
Bus stop and carousel, yes. That's correct. I don't appreciate the chicane. I was like thinking, what chicane? Oh, you mean the bus stop. Oh, Aaron's got that's a rather good looking livery. Good luck, Aaron. I just picked that one out of the blue.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, you genuinely appreciate that one, I'm sure, yeah.
Yeah, I'm just fond of the orange, you know. Good looking instead.
Past Mikkelsen. I think Mikkelsen's made a bit of a mistake because he seems to be very slow coming off the corner.
Could be a move being made, but I think he'll be able to cover it off. If you're on the inside into this right-hander.
Yeah, Hutchinson, the one trying to pull it off, but he'll be put in the wall if he's not careful. But that was quite generous there from Mikkelsen. And Mikkelsen is going to lose that place, and he might lose another place. Because here comes Lucas Seidor, who goes to the outside, and now going to go off the track. And could still pull off this move. He's got a better exit. Yeah. He is going to be able to pull slightly ahead. And behind them, of course, we've got Abaye, who's catching as well.
Let's see that Ferrari straight line speed, even if he has drop. I think the Ferrari can just gap him. I think a lot of people are sleeping on the Ferrari here at Glen. If you're in a side-by-side battle, that Ferrari's an animal. And he's done it. Oh, my...
Contacts.
that Merc came in like a missile.
It is a very narrow corner, that, and a very wide car. Tried to go... Oh, that's not a good rejoin.
Nope. That's a penalty of a capital P right there, if I am guessing.
Well, at least it's a good opportunity for me to mention we do have stewards for this series, but not live stewards, post-race stewards.
All right, some replays. Let's see what happened with this Audi. Oh no. Oh no, the car.
I'm not even sure whose fault.
Well, the Porsche's
one person's fault. I see, the outside car's fault.
The car on the left, the white car,
yeah,
100%. Just
squeezed.
Completely on the wrong side of the track for no reason.
And I just don't know how they didn't end up in the middle of the circuit. It was incredible.
Yeah, I don't know how we didn't have many more deaths. Right, what we got here? Oh, this is the Mercedes. Oh, so the Mercedes gets hit from behind.
That was the Walk Racing driver, wasn't it? Udod, who I think got hit. There's not many Mercedes.
No, and it was hit by a BMW by the looks of it, and there were not many of them. That should be easy to find. But yeah, no, I'm not sure what that white car was doing because he actually had the racing line as well. Like, what? He's coming over to the right. Like, yeah, he had every opportunity he had there to even be clear.
Max Johansson in chat supporting Jonas Simonsen, saying that he's doing Sweden proud. Marcus Broman saying, go Jonas, it is your birthday. So happy birthday to Jonas.
Adam Watson saying altitude is the best paint. I think Adam is biased, and Adam once wore Samsoid, so.
Sure.
For the Nord 24. Hey, Adam. And Robert Van Horn in chat. Hello, the best duo. Hi, Sam and David. Hello, mate. Why are you not doing this?
Yeah. Where are you, Robert? Maybe he left it too long to sign up. Sign-ups did pretty much close about 10 days ago. By the way, I haven't given a shout out at all so far. I was meant to do this earlier on to some of the sponsors that we have, but one of them is the Apex Racing League Endurance Championship, which is coming up in just a couple of weeks' time. And you can go to apexracingleague.com in order to check out all the details for the series, including our sponsorship with Abruzzi. It is the Abruzzi Apex Racing League Endurance 2024. Wow. And Abruzzi are offering some mega prizes.
What do the commentators get?
The opportunity to watch some fantastic quality racing.
Brilliant. I'll be there.
That's what the commentators get.
Count me in.
But there is £2,000 of prize money.
Oh.
And when I say money, I mean money, not prizes. But there are other prizes as well. £650 wheel as well, up for grabs, along with custom shirts and boots and other stuff supplied by Abruzzi. So do check out apexracingleague.com and get yourself signed up. As we just saw a very good move there from Eric Rousset.
Yeah,
he's
very
up
well
into
executed.
third position, past the Estonian of apologies. Estland?
Yeah.
Ooh,
Oh, no.
Simonson, the next to be a victim at the bus stop. Now rejoin safely. Good. It is Jonas's birthday, so we do have to be nice to him.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't see it was at fault there.
Sure.
I mean, end of the day, if I'm being quick to critique, it's a 75-minute race, so just don't share the bus stop. Like, why? Like, what are you hoping to gain? Like, don't share the bus stop. You're going to lose, what, 4/10, and you could lose 14 seconds. So that's my quick critique. If someone's alongside you, you know, if they're being aggressive, let them be aggressive, but don't let them touch you.
Robert Van Horn in chat saying he's having a break after losing 1,000 iRacing. Well, at least it's 1,000 iRacing in sports cars, eh? You didn't lose 1,000 iRacing in single-seaters, so yeah, maybe try single-seaters for a bit. Schilling losing out to Kleinecht. Do you not support my idea of...
That was not an idea, that was just an accumulation of words. What? It
Well,
still hurts.
I'm trying to be positive. I'm trying to be positive.
Yeah, we'll get some replays, so hopefully of the bus stop moves. But yeah, I mean, they're particularly hard to call without analysing all the camera angles. It's very hard to, especially from the desk, looking on the screen, very hard to quickly judge who or if there was any fault.
With Schilling losing that position to Kleinecht now in the clutches of his teammates, so expect to see the ADX drivers work together. For the team's championship for this series, it doesn't matter whether you're Pro-Am or Am, you score points overall to your team, so it is important that every one of your team members does well. So right now, for them to be running in 9th and 10th ADX, that is a good haul of points coming their way, albeit not as many points as Racing Lab Esports, because they are currently 1st and 3rd with Anders Meyer and Eric Rousset.
So David Schilling running in 9th, obviously leading the Pro-Am. 3.2k rating, just to sum up what a good job he's doing. The two drivers behind him, 5.8 and 6.1. The one driver in front of him, 7k. So he is a fish swimming with sharks right now and doing a very good job. Just saw Adam Hedgecott drop a position.
Yeah, he just got overtaken by Russ Fowler. That is for 26th position, two of the most experienced drivers we have on the grid for this season. Jonathan Cook saying, well, that was a waste of time. Sorry, Jonathan, that you were involved in that one?
What was he involved in? Was it the thing at the beginning?
The thing at the beginning.
What a shame.
But you should get back out there, Jonathan. It's a long race. You could probably catch a few of the ARMs, I reckon. I mean, not now.
Did we see who the white car was? The two cars that came together,
well, I think Jonathan would know. So Jonathan, let us know who the white car was. Because I imagine he's probably had a look at that replay.
Yeah, he really came over. I mean, he came over so far, he obviously didn't know a car was there.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, to not quote Noah's Ark, in front it was 2 by 2 by 2 by 2 by 2, and
so the leader is 1.5 seconds ahead at the moment, Anders Meyer.
Yeah, running very strong. He's looking like he's really enjoying that. I almost called it a BMW, the Ford.
Has won at this circuit before, I think back in season 6, I think he won. Was his first race win of the season, I think, that championship in a Porsche. And that was the 2-race format as well. But he's currently just dropping Chris Van Nesse, who's usually very strong in qualifying. Van Nesse doesn't always perform in the race, but he absolutely is at the moment. Had to wait a very long time for his first ever ARL victory, which finally came last season at Sebring in this championship. But really has taken it up a level, because I remember back when he was sub 2k, but now he is well earning that 5.1k status. And then after Chris, there's a long queue of cars of Eric Forseth and Rasmus and Tailman and Hort and Martin and many others.
It's refreshing to see a nice mix of cars. Obviously, the Ferraris aren't really making waves yet, but up 8 from Lucas Seidor, up 11 from Fasal, the AM driver, doing very well. He's going to be on for a haul of points. P18 at the moment. I think David Shin just got ahead of Ryan Martin there.
Yeah, he's moving back past Martin, who seems awfully slow. He hasn't got like a slowdown, has he? He had a big slide coming out of turn 1, and therefore he has dropped 2 places. So that is good news for the ADX drivers. They're now up to 8th and 9th.
Is that a altitude Porsche? Yeah, it is, yeah.
Nice chrome on that. Is that chrome?
Whoa!
Oh, he did well, Martin. He opened up the steering a little bit to afford some space on the inside.
Yeah. Well, he did well, but he also left a giant door open
Sure.
on the entry of the corner. But the Audi looks hungry.
Jonathan Cook has said he took the fast pair and then crashed into the wall again. Well, at least you can say you tried, Jonathan. And there are 9 more opportunities this season, as here comes Iberthu back again, but Martin stays ahead, or contact between the two of them, I think. But both cars seem to react fairly strangely, and taking advantage, Michael Hooper, and now he gets out of shape, and that might leave him in the clutches of David Moeller, his Pro-Am rival from last season. But he does stay ahead. By the way, this is a Japanese-themed Bear Pope livery. He submits it as Bear Japan.
Bear Japan.
That is the colour scheme that they've gone for.
Benedict Yven in chat, cheering on Anders Meyer. Yeah, at the moment it doesn't look like he needs it. I imagine he's still fuel saving and playing it smart as well. Obviously tyres will be critical, I assume. Well, it depends. I really don't know because I haven't done this myself, but if fuel's unlimited, they can probably even take tyres for free, but that's just off the head calculating. I haven't done it.
Well, but it's only 20 minutes of fuel, right? So 20 minutes of fuel is 15 seconds, probably.
20 minutes. It's a bit longer than that, isn't it? Oh, no. Yeah, you're right. So maybe just take lefts if they're listening. You definitely want a left tire. Front left, like, is going to be hurting by the end. Really hurting by the end.
We're being asked in chat, how is Jonas doing? Can we have a look on Jonas Simonsen? Well, unfortunately, we've only seen Jonas once this race, and that was when he crashed. He is now in 31st place, and there he is. With a nice livery. Reminds me a bit of the Altus livery, I must say. But I'm not complaining. I think it looks good.
It does look Altus, yeah. I call it Altus. You say Altus.
Yeah.
I'm not saying I'm right.
Yeah,
Well,
I'm not sure. I'm willing to say that you're right on that one.
I agree.
Hutchinson leads it out to Lucas Seidel.
Yeah, it looks like he yielded there. Playing it smart is Mark. He knows he's my pick for Pro-Am, so he's thinking long.
Yeah, I've forgotten already who I picked for Pro-Am. Which is quite bad for myself. I think they were involved in a crash, weren't they?
Your pick for Pro-Am, did you say?
Pro-Am, yeah.
Top of my head, I don't remember.
Max Wolf. Oh, he's at Le Mans.
Oh.
Max Wolf and a couple
nice.
of the other Indy Autosport guys, I think, are at Le Mans, so he is not here tonight.
Yeah, I want to go next year.
You been before?
Nope. Well, I lived in America for 11 years, so I did all those.
Sure.
But no, I've never had the opportunity. I've never been to Le Mans, never been to the Spa 24. I have done like all the Nord 24, but I have been to all the like Formula 1 tracks for the Formula 1 events. But yeah, I need to. I suppose I wasn't into endurance racing before I left all those years ago, and now, yeah, over in America I've done them all. Literally, Le Mans, Sebring for the WEC and the IMSA, the Indy 500, the Daytona 24.
Jason Hodgson, by the way, who is from that side of the pond, has just moved up into 3rd position in the amateur category. He's just got past Hendrik Zilk.
Yeah, I'm looking for it. Okay, some more replays coming in. Hot, and this was...
Oh, it's that curve that you're talking about?
Yeah.
Oh, wow, someone else had already lost it. Ow, ow. Oh, wow, we didn't see this, did we?
No, we did not. And this is that inside curb I mentioned that...
And this was on lap 1. I did see a few more drivers drop down, and I thought it may have been something to do with the first instant, but no, it was a separate one.
Yeah, it's just that, as I say, 3D curbs have changed the profile of that curb. Oof.
Oh, unlucky.
So this is what happens... Oh, no, there's a different car then. See what happens here.
This is life.
Oh, yeah, that's what I meant. I was anticipating something. Moving on.
Crofty moment.
Yeah, I think I blinked too long and I didn't notice the transition back to live. Yeah, what a shame. So yeah, the 3D curves have made the first curb a lot more consistent. But yeah, the other curbs are just profiled bigger. That's the best answer I can give. They're fine, but if you hit them full on, the way you land is very difficult. Especially this one on the left. Like, this one's okay. Again, you don't want to abuse it.
So Schilling now back up into 7th place. He's gradually making his way back up. He was dropping down earlier on, was David Schilling. He was down as low as 9th place. But he's just got past Joel Kleinex, who's one of the older Nürburgring esports drivers, longer at the team at least. Because I do remember him driving for Deutsche Payment Esports. Good to see him back. Mark Hutchinson, by the way, I think has just got past Lucas Seidel, which is a bit of a surprise. I think Seidel was making his way through. But Hutchinson has had a very good race. He's in 3rd place out of the Pro-Ams and is moving his way through. Issue for Stefan Son, by the way. And any fans of Jonas Simonsen will be delighted about the news because Son has dropped behind Simonsen with his latest mistake. However, good news for Son, and we do have some Scottish drivers in this series, and we do have some German drivers in this series, and of course they are currently playing each other in the football. And so when it comes to that front, at least, Son, I don't think will be too upset. It's not looking good for Scotland.
It is not. Gaps at the front remain mostly unchanged, but obviously Anders Meyer is in complete control with that gap he's created. It's going to really help his, let's say, fuel and tyre management and pit stop management. Here I have be able to play all the cards. Another thing here, we're going to see, I'm calling it, I'm not saying we might see, pit entry here. If someone's less than 5/10 close to you and you go to pit, expect to be facing the wrong way. It's just the nature of the track. I've heard lots of comments about, oh, the driver behind should. No, there's no time. It's a corner they do over and over and over again the same way. And the car in front of you randomly is 40 kph slow mid-corner and not throttling, you tap them.
Ooh. Oh. Well, I thought that wasn't going to be a move on there for Seidel, and then all of a sudden he was going so much more speed on entry. I'm thinking, well, this might be one of the moves of the season, but I mean, he did have to back out of it. But
He did.
blimey, that was close.
Yeah, and the Ferrari is quote unquote the quickest round here at the track, but it is the trickiest. It's tricky compared to the Audi, the Lambo, the Ford, the Porsche. Much trickier.
In regards to the pit entry thing, we did have an event in the Racing Unleashed challenges earlier on in the year, and I gave someone a penalty for doing something wrong, and so they came into the pits and they slowed down to such an extent at the final corner that they caused another incident. It very much felt sort of the opposite effect that I was trying to go for when I gave the penalty, that they then proceeded to cause another crash.
It's so tough. Look. For example, if we follow on board with Eric here, oh no, this is good. Bad timing. Oh, side by side, Rasmus gets done. Oh, a little of argy-bargy.
Oh, he's going to get him though, off the track.
Yeah, we'll see. It's not like they're both the exact same car or anything, just with slightly different bodywork. Oh, the Lambo's pinching.
Oh.
It's madness to see. Madness.
Well, Tillman's getting his nose back ahead. I don't think either of these guys are going to back out of this.
Audi's
really
got this.
getting a bit personal between the two of them. Well, no, to be fair to Östlund, he did back out eventually.
That was close, though. Why? I don't know why you'd want to pinch in that corner. Because they turn into a rubber rocket if you push them into that metal wall.
Sure.
Pinball, left, right, left, right. You're never going to survive it. I think they're starting to feel their fronts go a bit. Problem is, once your front starts to go, your rears start to go very quickly because you start slipping and sliding a lot more, where you're trying to get the front to rotate and abusing the rears. It is going to be very interesting later on. As I say, it is very an abrasive track. I'd say here, Kota, Barcelona. There is one more, but
Hungaroring, maybe?
I don't know. I've no.
Sure. I just remember commentating races and Hungaroring's being an issue.
Because I typically drive IMSA style cars, I hate that track. Like, I'm sure it's great in a Formula car or something.
It really isn't used a lot. It's a sad thing.
No,
I forgot that it was on the service.
I'm not usually one that says I hate a track, because it usually means I'm not good at it, so I challenge myself to get good at it, but no, I hate that track. It's all just understeer trail braking for the entire race. 1Xs aren't even like, some tracks were like, oh, the 1X is annoying. Yeah, it's because you're trying to get a bit of performance. Hungaroring, it's just, no, I wasn't. I almost gave up on everything. Like, I'm trying to turn here. Like, I'm going a few kph. I don't want to get the off track. So yeah, I'm sure it's great in Formula cars, but for me in GT or LMP, prototype, etc., it's just no.
David Schilling's got past Finn Hortz now.
Yeah, I mean, this is a massive haul of points for him. He's back to his qualified position, P6. Who's the biggest gainers? Oh, Aaron Broderick, up 17. Also, Seb Guest, up 17.
You could say that Schilling is cashing in today.
You could say that. Don't know if you should.
He's cashing in.
Probably most people in our chat don't know what a shilling is, though.
Well, yeah, I mean, most people in chat are older than me. I mean, do you remember?
Well, are you asking me if I ever used a shilling? No, sir. I know of the coin.
Sorry.
But I never used a shilling.
It was introduced, was it 79 or something?
Yeah, so I was not born. Thank you.
Okay, so.
Did you ever use a shilling? I like the way you're wording that. Like, I know you're old, but.
Well, no, maybe we went to another country where they use the South African shilling or something, and used it there. That's what I meant. Thought you were well travelled.
Yeah. See what Joel can manage here, but to be honest, just lifting early is what I want to hear. Nope. What do you think of T1?
I prefer the old one.
Same.
But yeah, I'm not a big fan of this new one.
No.
Because of course, they do. Yeah, you are limited now. I guess you used to be limited on the old one, but not if you're getting a 1X on the old one, you were losing time. Whereas
yes,
this
because it was too far.
feels like a limit. It feels like you're limiting yourself. So yeah, I'm not a big fan of it.
No,
but the other off tracks I'm fine with.
There aren't any.
Well,
Unless you're on the grass.
I mean, like the other extremities of the circuit, I'm all right with. Oh, Seidl's got back ahead of Hutchinson. So he has got past, and now Hutchinson might lose another place to Trosh.
Surely Hutchinson's got this on the left.
Too much. Not many Mercedes out there, but here is one of the few of them. Oh, he's lost it. And no, he's done well not to put it in the wall.
Yeah, he's mirror watching there a little bit. Can he cover off Seidl? Nope.
iHatch having a brilliant race, isn't he? He's up to 17th, still leader of the AMs. And of course, for people who aren't familiar, you do score points for your overall position, not your class position, so that does matter.
Sorry, yeah, that was iHatch. Sorry, I thought that was Seidl seeing the yellow Ferrari. They're both yellow Ferraris, right? If I remember rightly, Seidl?
Yes. Yes, he is.
Shared his camera. If you're watching and driving, you can lean over and share your camera on the SDK area. I'll do it on the straight, though.
Sure.
Not mid-corner. Oh, talking of not changing things mid-corner, have you seen there's been a patch to the GTPs? You can no longer change your ARBs while turning the steering wheel. Okay.
Wow.
Never thought to ask.
People were doing that.
Yeah,
That's
no,
crazy.
but the problem is now, even driving down the straight at Le Mans, if you go to use one of your hands to use the button box and your wheel's wiggling left and right because of the damping, you can't change it.
Sure.
So, yeah. Yeah, so I am assuming there was some exploit that...
That's crazy that people were actually doing that. Imagine that. Just
Yeah.
You see it with the F1 esports people where they're changing their like ERS deployment every single corner pretty much.
Yeah.
Because there's no automatic system. It's just like a rich, like a 3-mode thing. And so they're constantly having to be on it. But yeah, that would be taking it to a new level.
So, yeah, now your wheel has to be straight.
By the way, the UK stopped using shillings in 1971. So well before your time, David. I apologise.
I remember the £5 coin.
Oh, I did not know that was a thing. What shape was it?
Round, big. Have a look. I mean, yeah, it's a big coin, I think. I'm sure it's the £5 coin.
Oh, it was silver. Gosh, okay. I don't know why I'm surprised, but... Gosh, did you ever pay for anything with a five?
No. I mean, I remember it. It wasn't insert. I don't think... I think I only ever saw one in my entire life.
Sure.
But it did look cool. It looked rather big. But now, obviously, spending 11 years in America, I mean, their lowest... Their dollar is a bill. A note, sorry, I'm saying the wrong word. A note.
A note.
Which is cool, because then your wallet is full of paper, not
Yeah,
coins.
and you can throw it about and not be in trouble. So Lars Freisek up 16 places. He is the third highest gainer in this race. Aaron Broderick, just behind him, is up 17. And we've also got Seb Guest, who's up 17. In 27th place right now. Back with our leaders. Meyer still 1.5 seconds ahead. Then it's Van der Nesse. Rosseth with good pace. He's gradually closing up to Van der Nesse. Tailman, who looked good in the early stages, just losing tabs a bit. Of course, did get past Oostlund. So that should not be underestimated. Him pulling off that move. But hasn't been able to make any progress really since then. And of course, the Estonian behind him will be saving a decent amount of fuel. Could you argue right now that Eric Rosseth maybe is the man in the box seat right now? Meyer and Van der Nesse without any draft.
Yeah,
Rosseth dipping
it's
in.
a big gap, isn't it? It's 3.5 seconds. That's the problem.
2 seconds.
No. Right, that's gap from the lead. Okay. Yeah, then, yeah, he's sitting pretty, that's for sure. But I'm sure Meyer is managing it. I'm sure he is. Yeah, there can be a lot of smart players out there.
Rosseth, who I think won last season at Daytona. I think Meyer slowed down on the line to let Rosseth past because Rosseth had led for most of the race and pretty much fuel saved Meyer to the lead.
Well, we could look at this another way. We're half an hour into the race and the front to the back is almost 40 seconds. So we're going to see the two shall meet. There will be lapping in this race, so it does get very technical. So we'll see. It's going to be really interesting in the second part of the phase once we see how people have performed on fuel, what tyres they take, if any. I mean, they're definitely going to want to take tyres. Some people take 4. I think some people take lefts. And I don't see why you'd just take a front left. It can be done for sure, but I don't know why.
The only man who does not need to pit before the end of the race, I believe, is Lucas Bortolozzi. He pitted back on lap 11, and he should be able to go to the end of the race. Everyone else still needs to complete their pit stop.
Lap 11. Yeah, he should be okay.
Yeah, it'll be tight. I think he pitted as soon as he could.
We could do about
Probably had a bit of
57 minutes on a full tank, something like that.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. It's always a bit under an hour, isn't it?
Yeah. LMP2 is like 40 odd minutes. It's over so quickly.
Yeah, and what, GTP, what, 45?
Yeah, a few minutes more, yeah. Now, probably the reason we didn't see anyone start on a little bit lower fuel to get that pace advantage beginning is just because the field is so big. If you pit early and come out mid-pack somewhere, it's way too busy. And there's... Okay, some more replays coming in. Let's see what we got. Whee.
Oh, well, that was... I think it was this car that we were riding on board with. I think it was their fault. That
Let's see. Let's see. Yep.
Yep. Oh, he's almost hitting the curb.
Yeah.
He's almost hitting the curb.
Yeah, unfortunately, looks like that it was the Nürburgring car fault. Yeah, look, that's the
more
Porsche.
racing.
Well, if any, yeah, you're probably right, racing, but definitely not the car on the left that time. I don't know, so we get one chance at high speed to cast an opinion, so don't take our opinions as fact.
Here comes Schilling trying to attack Östlund. The next one to try to get past Östlund was as high as... well, he started in second place. He's very close now. They're dropping outside the top 5. Östlund having a fantastic race. You can see the nation of Estonia represented.
Seb Guest has pitted.
He was one of our highest gainers, 17 places gained for Guest in the first half an hour of the race, as Ubitsu has got past Martin.
Adam Hedgecock boxing. Interesting. I want to see where these guys...
Oh, no. Oh, Martin. Oh, Martin. That might... Oh, come on, you can keep going. Yeah. Oh,
no,
no,
front left. It's gone.
It has gone. That wasn't that big an impact, was it? But
it looked like what I call an NDM, but they're all on the new damage one, so just a DM. It looked like he just tapped him and forced a spin, but yeah, I don't...
braking isn't going to be very fun.
No, I don't think he can turn. Oof.
It's like Lightning McQueen. Well, this next corner, next 2 corners he should be alright on, but he'll limp it back to the pits. But that will make even a top 20 for tonight probably quite tough for him.
Nicola Dagard into the pit. Obviously, that would be exciting, but obviously he got caught up in the lap 1 issues. So
yeah, qualified up in the top 10, I think, today, God.
Yeah, he really did. Oh, Ryan has had another... Oh, no, Ryan's the one limping back, right?
Yeah.
He's seriously limping now.
Well, he's off track at the moment. I hope he can get into the pits. As Finn coming close into P... in the battle for P7. Oh, no, there is a crash ahead. And that is Lucas Tellman who has been involved. He's hit the wall, he's got damage, and he'll be able to limp it back. But Lucas Tellman, our sports car champion in the GT4s just a month ago, has had a big setback there, and we wait to see if that was himself, which I imagine it probably was.
From the looks of it, it did look like it, but he may have been tapped for all we know. I can confirm Ryan might have made it into the pits, hopefully without ruining someone else's race. Because he definitely had a few off tracks. I just can't imagine how he navigated the last corner without damaging someone's race. I can't. My mind is showing awful images.
Maybe they should change the pit entry at Watkins. Make it peel off coming
No, I
out
think
of
you
the
should.
penultimate corner.
I think you should just have to enter on the yellow line. I would hate it, but it would be so much safer if you have to be over on the right, on the inside the yellow box. Like, you'll see it coming round. Now you should see it brim on the... There, you should have to... You shouldn't be able to just late enter it, because it causes an untold amount of accidents. We'll see it. 100% we'll see it this race.
Tailman into the pits. He didn't actually lose that much time, Tailman. I think he lost maybe about 8 seconds. Because we'll have to do an early pit stop, which is probably a disadvantage you'll need to deal with the traffic of other drivers, and also you will have higher fuel in that car for the next 20 minutes or so.
Yeah, that's the other thing, not getting access to low fuel on him.
Will give us an idea, though, of whether he's taking tyres or not.
Who are we looking at?
Martin is taking tyres, I think. Tailman is taking tyres as well. But only 2 of them. He was not on the jacks for very long.
Yeah.
So the 2 tyres are free, but he's not taking all 4.
21. Yeah, I think lefts.
Yeah. I mean, there's no way you're taking... Well, you could take just rears, but that wouldn't be smart around here. Taking fronts is never a good idea, at least in my experience, because it just makes the car undrivable.
Yeah, that's what we had to do in prototypes, though, because we can't take lefts.
Sure, yeah.
I could have just taken front left, but if I'm going to spin, I want to spin with 2 front tyres, thank you. So, yeah, and I say the axle problems in prototypes mean we can only take front or rears, or otherwise we might as well take all 4. But no, they'd be smart to just take lefts. But no, it is the front left limited, massively limited. And then the next tyre is the front rear left, and then the front right, and then the rear right doesn't actually do a lot around here.
This is a good indication of what the AM competitiveness is going to be for the rest of the season, because these guys are very close. Livingston, Hodgson and Friesek up 13, 15 and 18 places respectively. Behind them, Broderick and Fowler are up 19 places each. There is a Pro-Am behind them as well. That's Daniel Ash, who is looking to unlap himself against these drivers. He's the one with the slightly green windshield banner.
Unfortunately, Ryan Martin, who pitted, the Porsche.
Yeah, he's still there, isn't he?
Yeah, and double bad news, Adam Hedgecott, the other altitude driver, is also still there.
As Friesek comes into the pits, that's a bit early, but maybe wanting to go half and half this season, or this race. But yeah, the shame for altitude.
Yeah, looks like they're both out because they had faster pairs. Maybe, yeah, I'm not sure. Thought maybe Ryan didn't have his fast pair ticked and Adam sped, but Adam's been in there too long for a speeding penalty now.
Lars Friesek is taking more than 16 seconds of stationary, so maybe...
Yes, 25,
he is taking all 4 tyres. So, what I would say is an AM, and that does sound a bit derogatory from me, but what I'm saying is that he may not know the best strategy.
I would have done it as an AM at this track in these temps, so you can understand that. I mean, I say take lefts like it's something easy, but it does take practice. Otherwise, you loop it in the slow speed corners on your first 2 laps. Just keep an eye on there. So 1 point, yeah, and
it's just been so consistent, hasn't it?
Yeah.
And what I would say is that whilst Bandanese isn't a teammate with Maya and Rosseth, they have raced against each other quite a bit, I think. And so I think there's a decent amount of mutual respect amongst these guys.
Yeah, the front 3 names have been in a series together when I've been commentating, for sure. It's probably this series, right? Last season?
Yeah, season 7. Bandanese has also taken part in the Apex Racing League GT Championship, I think won a championship even. And that was back in 2020, early 2020. Years and years ago. But only won his first race earlier this year. 4 years it took him.
Jason Hodgson is in. Keep an eye on his pit stop time. I'd say the rest are due in about 12, 15 minutes.
Yeah. David Schilling continuing to move up. We don't know what was going on with Schilling in the early stages. He lost 3 places in the first 10 minutes of the race. And then since then, there's been no stopping him. And he's looking a lot more confident right now than a man who has got some 2,000 iRacing more than him, Rasmus Östlund. And I think this is only a matter of when, not if.
Yeah, that's crazy. 3.2k. Yeah, maybe he just wasn't set up very well for cold tyres, high fuel, I'm not sure. But yeah, he's looked like he's been cooking ever since. Jason out, 4 tyres. It looks like 4 tyres at the moment. It's costing about 8.5 seconds. Dry Out in chat's asking, 2020, would that have been a GTE championship?
Yes, it was. Sunday nights.
Best
we had the
car.
Ford GT and the... I think we had the Vet back then as well.
Joel is in what was he, P6?
Yeah, somewhere around that, wasn't he?
So we keep an eye on him. I would expect lefts.
Well, Hodgson took all 4. But he's another amp.
Ayach is in.
Ayach from the lead of the amateurs. Let's see if he does the same as some of his contemporaries. Schilling is up into 4th place, by the way. He has got past Östlund. I think Östlund is struggling with tyres.
All right, Joel, 2 tyres and fuel saving. I can confirm. So he's looking very pretty. Only that means the fastest pit stop of the race so far by about 1.5 seconds.
Ayach, 4 tyres.
Yep, 4 tyres.
Oh, well, 23.32, is that enough for...
Yeah, just fuel saving, because the others are 25, so just about 1.5 seconds again. So it looks like those 2 were just better on fuel than the others. But we'll know a lot more once we get some of the bigger names stopping. 7Ks just burn less fuel. It's just what they do. Unfortunately. It's a breath of fresh air seeing the Ford, isn't it? I'm not the only one.
Oh, absolutely. Well, it's just cool to see a new car, right?
It is, yeah.
I'd say the Vet, because we've seen the GTE car before, doesn't feel quite so fresh. But the Stang is...
People hate me calling it that, so I call it the Stang even more, because that's just how it works. People tell me I
because
don't know.
you despise people, yeah.
Oh,
You're an unlikable person. As Maya is coming onto the back of Mauro de Molina, actually. No,
Yeah. Mark and
No.
David are in.
Lucas Bortolozzi maybe was coming up to the back of, but he was lapping someone.
Mark being the other ADX driver, partnered with Schilling.
I mean, I guess it makes sense to pit around here because, of course, you get fresher tyres earlier in the race.
Yeah.
But I did think a few more drivers would go long. But yeah, if you are struggling with tyres, it does make sense. If you're taking 4 tyres, pit now. There's no point in going longer and pitting with 20 minutes to go for 4 tyres. You may as well pit now and go for 4 tyres. Otherwise,
mean,
you're
no
just
one above-
wasting 10 minutes.
No one at the above 2.5K has taken 4 tyres yet, but it looks like we do have our first.
Yeah,
David
Mola.
Moller.
And Delgado, I think, as well. Delgado,
Yeah.
6.1K, and he is taking all 4 tyres.
23 though. Yeah.
But
yeah,
that
it is,
may
yeah.
not have been planned. He may have got so far in this race and thought, my tyres are dead. I need to take new tyres.
Yeah, we'll see though. 8 seconds, I think, will be the difference. 8.5 seconds, I think, for 2 tyres. It's a difference between 2 and 4. So you have better grip, but I mean, 8.5 seconds is 8.5 seconds. If you're caught behind a couple of slower people and it takes you 10 laps to pass them, then your tyres are also quite decked up. So we shall see.
And of course, you can keep an eye on all these all these pit stop times using the live timing link. I think it's in the description, but it's definitely in the YouTube chat. So do have a click on that, and you can see how long each of the pit stops time.
Schilling is in.
Ah. So
Our
I
camera
imagine
guys
this
are on
will
it.
be
They don't
another.
miss a pit stop.
I imagine this will be another 4 tyres if he's pitting this early. I don't know. Maybe not.
No. I'll bet you a shilling it's 2.
Sure. Oh, so you do have a few stored up, do you?
I do,
From
yeah,
your,
you know. From
your teenage years.
Yep. Chris is looking completely under fire here from Raseth. But I think Raseth's just pushing. Yeah, he's not fighting this. And looks like a little bit of a lift there from Eric. Very well played.
Well, Anders on that last lap pulled away by 0.6 of a second against Brandon Essay.
Schilling is... Damn it. No, no way.
Well, I'm a shilling richer.
Yeah. Look at this, though. It's a good pit stop, though. Well, it's a good pit stop or a bad pit stop. He's so low. It's 21. So I actually don't know if it's just a really bad 2-stop with long fuel or a really good 4. I actually don't know. Not yet. We need more numbers. But yeah, I mean, he's 6 seconds. He lost 6 seconds in pit road to Joel, just to summarise the difference.
I think that's probably 2 tyres, honestly. Like,
What, you think he just fluffed his pit stop a bit?
I think he fluffed his pit stop. I didn't think he could do 4 tyres in 21.9 seconds.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I didn't know if it was an amazing fuel-saving feat or a terrible two-tyre stop. But he's definitely lost out there. I think once the pit stop cycle through, I think Schilling might find himself a couple of places back. Seth definitely not pitting with that line. Give him another like 8 minutes, I reckon.
Oh, dear. Oh, Faisal, either of the ARMs, but
Let's
I don't
just
think
see.
that'll be too much of a setback for him.
Iach pitted. Let me just check what's
Well, he
going
took 23.3, did Iach?
So he just struggled on cold tyres, high fuel. He's forgotten how hard it was at the beginning and just, yeah, let those cold tyres lose traction. A BMW? I thought all the BMWs were gone with the Ford. I thought if you went in a big, heavy car, then at least go on with an engine. No, they apparently a little bit reworked the BMW this season. So I gave it a go here, and it was better.
Yeah.
I think that's the best word I can say. Yeah, it wasn't bad. Okay, Livingstone is in. So Jonas is recovering from that bus stop incident earlier, where he got knocked, where he ended up sideways. P18 at the moment. We'll see where it all cycles through. Good pit stop from Livingston, 16 seconds, 2 tyres. But obviously Joel with a 15-second 20 has put him. Yeah, I mean he's.
But, by the way, Delgado has just set the fastest lap of the race. Took all 4 tyres. He just went 1.2 seconds faster than the race leader. That's the use of 4 tyres.
He did, but that's the problem. You're going to cook them. That's the catch-22,
Sure.
right? By the time you can get far enough into the race to make it happen, then you've also got bad tyres. Yes, you've got less bad.
Oh, I've won a shilling. Jonathan Cook, David changed 4 tyres. I'm his teammate. Thank you, Jonathan.
Yeah, I saw he did. Oh, so it was a quick pit stop.
It was a quick fist. I thought he'd only taken 2, but no, he did take 4.
Hey, Jonathan. Yeah.
Michael Hooper next in, by the way.
Well, I say we're comparing his pit stops to mostly AMs and Pro-Ams, so we'll see how good. But yeah, I mean, 21.9, 4 tyres, looking good.
Don't want to be taking the grass every lap there, Delgado. On the old grass, he would have been in the wall there. Or maybe later on in the season when we do get rain, potentially. Unless we just don't get rain. Make a big deal of it, and it never rains. That's probably what will happen this season.
Okay, Hooper and Sidor in.
Van der Nesse sort
Wow.
of quelling the growth in the gap. Went up to 2.2 actually at one point, but he's started to level it out a little bit. Clearly was just a mistake a few laps ago from Chris.
Hooper with an excellent pit stop. 14 seconds.
Very quick.
Yeah, 2 tyres. He's come out 2 positions behind Schilling. Yeah, he's in the fight.
You see there, Tim Perry, 4-second pit stop. That was a pit stop on lap 1. He will need to pit again. So I don't think he's pulled a blinder. He just had to take repairs right at the start of the race. He's done well actually, Tim, to even get back to that position. I can see that he took an extra pit stop.
So Eric Seth, 2.6 seconds. It's a little far off to, even with the fuel saving, fight for the lead. And yeah, Van der Nesse, unless that gap's been built by due to massive fuel saving, I think Anders Meyer is going to have this. Expecting a good pit stop as well. There, I'm seeing like the possibility of lappers now coming up soon. I mean, the field's separated by a lap amount now. Not quite, sorry. No, not yet.
Yeah, especially with a few drivers coming into the pits early. You can see that it's pretty much evenly spread across the entire Watkins Glen International Circuit. By the way, of course, this series is sponsored by Apex Racing Academy. And with the new season starting for iRacing, this is the best time to go get a subscription to Apex Racing Academy, supplying data packs for many, many different cars on the service, including, I think all of these GT3 cars, other tin tops with the GT4s and the TCRs and single-seaters, prototypes, and even rallycross cars as well. So do check out apexracingac.com in order to get yourself a subscription and get a little bit of extra pace as well for this Season 3 of iRacing.
Wait, you can buy pace on the website. I'll take a premium plan, please. Michael Hooper, yeah, looking good. Oh, look, red lights. The car behind did not have red light. Yeah, both Porsches, white and red. Look at that. What is that? I'm going to put a bounty out on that. If someone tells me how to do that, there will be a personal reward. I want to know how you change the lights. That looks awesome. I'm not blind, right?
I mean, this is a really nerdy thing for me to say, and I'm not that into stars, but it does remind me a bit of Grievous, you know?
Yeah.
With the look of the eyes. Oostland is into the pits. Not a surprise. He really did seem to be struggling with tyres. And I think he'll take 2 tyres here, because why would you take 4 tyres now? If you were going to take 4 tyres, you may as well have taken it 10 minutes ago. But we'll see. He's pulling some extra corners in the pit lane as well. Maybe running over some pit people.
Pit people?
Pit people. What do you call them? Pit... Pit engine... Pit mechanics?
Yeah, pit mechanics. Sign technicians.
Stretch 111X. It's part of the LED pack in the setup section.
Oh. What, in GT3? What, like the Lambo endurance lights? I didn't know Porsche had a front light system. I know, like, some have the LEDs on top. Lambo has the endurance lights. But no, I've never seen Porsche. I mean, Porsche is my main GT3. Wow, it looks great on the broadcast. Come on, Aaron. I mean, I equally support all teams.
Well, he's doing well now.
He's doing very well, yeah.
Partially because of the pit stops, but if there was a red flag now...
Yeah, if there was a...
Which couldn't happen, it's not a thing. But if there was, then he'd be in the box seat.
Yeah, up 29, it's brilliant.
Tailman getting past side door.
Yeah, I don't know if Sider made a mistake.
These guys have made pit stops, so that is a legit move there for Tailman, who has come back well after a spin at this very corner, actually, earlier on in the race. I feel like he lost about 15 seconds because of it. And he's now 12 seconds behind Zielk ahead, but a couple of drivers ahead of him have not pitted.
Finn's
into the pits. By the way, Oostland did take 4 tyres. So, and came out behind David Schilling.
Yes,
really
only
by a couple of seconds. So, despite the fact that Schilling came in, what, like 6 or 7 minutes before Oostland, he only gained 2 seconds in that time, which I think Oostland shouldn't be too disappointed with. He can catch that by the end.
Yep. Ooh, what's... Oh no, ignore me. I was looking at Finn's pit stop. Something happened.
Oh, I was looking at Oostland going over the grass.
Oh. Oh
Did
dear.
not look too good.
And you say he took 4. Yeah, just cold tyres.
I think Finn's taking 4 as well.
Russ is in?
No, only 2, but a long 2. Maybe he was in clear air, Finn.
Michael Hooper pit stop's looking rather impressive right now. 14 seconds flat. Okay, Russ is in the pits. He is taking all 4. He's going to cycle out. Maybe 30th, let's see. Oh no.
We'll move up ahead as well. This is not good for Hort. He wants to get through these guys ASAP. But to be fair, well, of course, Schilling, that is for position. But Hort has closed in on Schilling. But Schilling has got at least 2 of his tyres fresher, 2 of his tyres older than Hort. So could still be competitive, but one would expect Schilling will probably be able to pull away as Broderick is very slow. And these 2 will now be able to move past.
Yeah, if that front left goes, you're slow. The car just plows. It's painful.
They should have a bit more clean air in front of them now. They have got a back marker, but no more drivers that they've got to deal with for position. Bizu is into the pits. Or Abithu.
I call him Pierre.
Yeah?
Yep. At least I know I'm nailing it then.
You sound very overly confident about that. I would not bank on it.
Oh, Vin is in. My pick. I say he take no tyres and just go for it. No, I suppose 2 or 3, I'm joking. Just take the lefts.
Broderick in as well.
Yeah, lots of pit activity.
Really, the drivers are going to be able to... I'm impressed Meyer's actually gone this far, and Van der Nesse, but I think they'll be in this lap. Rosseth actually dropped off the back of Van der Nesse. But if anyone's going to go the extra lap, it'll be Rosseth, because he has been getting a waft of that toe so far in this stint. I don't think he'll quite manage it regardless, as Kleinecht is being overtaken by Schilling. Look at the straight line speed there for Schilling, powering his way past, and he's up into P8.
Unfortunately, that's the power of the 4 tyres versus the 2 there. We're seeing Schilling obviously gaining a lot from the 2. No, Schilling had 4, right? I'm confusing myself. Hold on.
Schilling had 4, Kleinecht had 2.
Yeah, that's what I meant. I say, yeah.
So yeah, so Schilling was up to P7. I said P8 before, but no, P7. Anders goes again. Wow, what a guy. Van der Nesse has to come into the pits, and Rosseth was able to stretch it out another lap. So this is Rosseth's chance, maybe, but Van der Nesse will have 2 fresh tyres on his outlap, which might be enough to help him out.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. This is great to see. He's going to have those fresh 2 tyres for longer in the race. Obviously, he's managed his tyres very well because the pace and consistency is right there. So, yeah, it's a killer run from these 2. Right, we're seeing everyone in but the 2.
And Hutchinson.
Oh, and Hutchinson. Here we go.
Stop the count.
Stop the count.
I mean, we'd both be in the box seat. I'd win with Meyer, you'd win with Hutchinson.
Yeah.
We go home happy.
We do. Where did Van der Nesse come out? Oh, very quick pit stop, 14.4. That almost is as quick as Hooper, so that should really pay dividends. Eric with a pretty good pit stop. But yeah, Van der Nesse come out in P4. So he'll be P3 once Mark pits.
Not too bad with the traffic for Van der Nesse. They are back markers ahead. It's not Hutchinson ahead of him. They are drivers who are 1 lap down. This is getting a little bit tight. This is Hortz versus Kleinecht. Schilling's been able to pull away from these guys, and Hortz has now passed Kleinecht, who is gradually losing positions. Next up will be Östlund, who is on the same strat as Hortz. Apologies, as Kleinecht. But Schilling with the 4 fresh tyres, and then the 3 behind him, all with 2 tyres. Oh yeah, he's gone again. How is he doing this? Lots of fuel saving. He's gone beyond the hour. His teammate can't do it. And Anders Meyer, after this next pit stop, will be miles clear. He's going to have a super short pit stop.
Wow. I mean, credit where credit's due. He fully exceeded the hour in 45 track temp. That's...
I mean, maybe that's the thing that he's been trying for the 6 hours, because if you can go the hour in the 6 hours, then... Yep. I mean, it might be a bit irrelevant with the rain, obviously. That's going to, you know...
Yeah, but it gives you, gives you the bigger choice of options along the run, I think.
Yeah.
Plus, you get to see what everyone's tyres are, right? They have to show their hand first because you're the one with fuel. You know, everyone pits and you're like...
And they did end up getting a decent amount of traffic with Seth, 1.2 seconds faster. He gets a shorter run as well. He's going to be a long way ahead as with Seth. I don't think this is going to be too close.
13.2 seconds.
No, he's going to be close.
It's a very quick pit stop, though.
But Rosseth has got the jump. He has got the jump. He came into the pits a second behind. He's now a couple of tenths ahead, and Van der Nesse will put that Thotzel all the way to the ground, but the Porsche is not giving him the straight line speed he needs to launch an attack. And if Rosseth can keep it clean, he might be able to pull away for the rest of the race.
Yeah, looking at all the numbers, the fuel, the pit stop from Rosseth did help, but I think the traffic ultimately cost him the position as well. I mean, he was only, I mean, it's impressive. It was 1.2 seconds from Eric. He pulled over, well, everybody in pit road, but I think that traffic in the last corner just cost Van der Nesse there. But we said that would be critical in the race because we knew we were going to be coming up on lappers at, yeah, around this time.
Östlund has just got past Hortz, by the way, so Östlund's up to
Meyer.
5th place overall. That will turn... That is a legit 5th place. Meyer comes into the pits. He will be...
That was a very strange... It looks like he really, really hugged the yellow line there, very professionally. I come round looking like I'm in a Tom Cruise movie, you know, rear's gone. I'm barely braking before the cone. I hit the cone to slow down, you know. He looked very civilised there on entry. Let's see. All eyes on Andermeyer's pit time. I think as long as it's even a 14,
Oh, it could
8,
be
he'd
16,
be fine.
and I think he'd be fine.
Let's see. 10, 11, 12, 13.2, the fastest pit stop of the race from Andersmeyer.
And he will be a decent amount closer. Seth is pretty much as far back as he was before, 3 seconds. And
Obviously, he's got an extra position now, so yeah. The leader's got, 2.8 second lead.
Could be a fantastic start for Racing Lab. Did you pick Racing Lab?
Of course I picked them.
Title? Did.
Of course I picked them. The team won too.
I picked Maya for my drivers champion, so we're both doing really well, and I think we should both be proud of ourselves. B3 has got past Kleinex now. Lots of changes around those positions. B3 has the same age tyres as Kleinex, but Kleinex just does seem to be struggling. He's lost 3 places now. 4 places even in the last 5 laps or so. And he could lose another one to Hooper. This is Hodgson. He's behind Fowler. Fowler now up 21 places. Highest gainer, Aaron Broderick, 24. And Broderick is in the lead of the amateur drivers.
Who would have picked him?
With that spin earlier on, I didn't think it would cost him too much, but it has. And he's just lost 1.4 seconds on that last lap. He really seems to be struggling as this race progresses. And despite the fact he took 4 tyres, Broderick only took 2 tyres.
Yeah, he's looking good. Great team, my personal opinion.
Sure, yeah. Yeah.
Well, unless I'm driving in it, then I'll do stupid stuff in before the race and not put fuel in. Great event, first of all. 75 minutes, though. It's made the best come out, right? These guys who know what they're doing, fuel saving, looked after tyres, and have now the fuel have really extended the lead. I don't know if you've seen. Schilling is now away 17 seconds back.
Yeah. Abayo, by the way, doing really well. He did only take 2 tyres, but I feel like he may have been behind Mola earlier on. But he's now a few seconds ahead. Mola did take all 4 tyres, though. So Abayo might struggle towards the end, but he's pretty much saying personal best lap times is Abayo. Phenomenal tyre conservation from the Spaniard. He's up 15 places. He started 26th. He's up to 11th. We've had a lot of drivers who have quietly gone up through the order just through low tyre deg in the second half of this race. By the way, Van der Nesse with a mistake. He's now 2.4 seconds behind with Seth. So it very much does look like our top 3 are set for this first round of the season.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, very dominant display. I mean, Meyer has... He put it on pole as well, right? Meyer was pole sitter.
Yep.
Yeah. Wow.
Feels like a while ago, but it was Ustand who was second place on the grid.
Just didn't go his way. Pit stop was far and away the wrong choice. He lost 7 seconds in pit road.
Well,
it would have
he's
given
very
him
fast now.
Yeah, for sure. But so's the problem is Schilling's on the same strategy. So yeah, he would have been able to be defending Schilling with worse tyres. So it's a bit of a catch-22. But he would have had that 7-8 second lead over Schilling. And I bet right now he would rather an 8 second lead and worse tyres though. It's just very tricky to overtake here. I say the graphics looking really good. On the screen I'm watching the replay graphics looking. Look at those red lights. I'm sorry to go on, but look at how good. You'd move out the way.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, the other one's got blue lights, which is such a meh choice. Like if red's an option, or orange, or purple. Wait, I need to go home. You can do this, right? I need to just. I
can do the podcast later on.
Brilliant. I just want to play with the lights on the Porsche.
Who's going to give way here? Neither of them. Well, eventually it was Josh, but that was a good... apologies, that was Hooper who gave way. Kleinex still ahead of Hooper. Kleinex still struggling though. At last lap he lost second to the drivers ahead. Oh, Usland has made a mistake.
Oh, no, yeah.
Oh, no. He was really looking very good.
Kill the TC.
And now he's got to
Kill the
wait
TC.
for a gap.
Oh, he's using the grass.
Not great, but he'll get there eventually.
So if you're listening to this, please map a traction control kill. Everyone in chat, if you're listening to this and you see this, there's a TC toggle that you can map in the controls. All you do is tap it. So you pull the clutch, rev first gear out, tap the traction control, and then that's it. Just turn your wheel, let go of the clutch, and boom, 180. Instant. You can actually stay on one side of the track. If you practice it enough, I can just, in a street race at, what's one of the street circuits? Yeah, exactly, yeah. I got tapped, looped it. I managed to pull a 180 on one side of the street circuit with people going by me.
Sure.
It looked crazy. I mean, I would have been in trouble had I clipped anyone, but look at those red lights.
AMS Sprintcast is broadcast as one of the highlights of my week. Love the weekly racing, can't wait for the rest of the season. Thank you very much for the kind words.
Yeah, thank you. Okay, we got the replay of
Oh, it's going to be new damage. Oh, no. I don't know, I don't think that counts necessarily, but... actually he lost it one way and then the other. As though the grass sort of yanked him the other way.
Yeah.
Oh, this is about for P5. Can Ubitsu get ahead? Ooh. No. And he's a little bit offline as well. He'll have to regather. He's still got another 7 minutes or so, but this now, the battle for P5. By the way, because we are broadcasting the late Apex later on. Not long after this broadcast. It's going to be a quick turnaround. Should be 10 o'clock BST. That's 11 o'clock for you guys in Europe.
Well, I'm going to be late to bed tonight.
Yes. Got a fair few topics to talk about when it comes to iRacing and other sims being launched. Stuff about motorsport games as well. Can hardly stay away from it. Yeah, do check that out. The late Apex on in about half an hour's time.
Might have a quick slice of pizza and an energy drink before that.
I think so. I am feeling like I could eat some pizza right now.
It's lovely seeing a diverse car roster. Very refreshing. Well, that Porsche took a alternate line for straight line speed there. He's really cost himself.
Yeah, I think he was.
Oh, okay. I think he was
too much. Engel, he was caught up in a mess on the first lap. But he's up to 27th place now, is Engel, far from where he would want to be, but credit to him for sticking with it and driving 74 fairly lonely minutes of this Watkins Glen circuit. I would not bet against him maybe getting one more place. He's got Son up ahead. He is lapping a second and a half faster. He might just get him right at the end.
So,
Kleinecht.
Yeah, it's just dropped. No, or is he battling Hooper? I'm not sure.
He's battling Hooper. He's been fighting off Hooper for a few laps now, and Hooper cannot get past. And it seems like Hooper's lost a bit of time trying to go for the move there.
I think they must have battled through the bus stop because the positions went mad. I can't look at a Porsche with normal lights now. It just looks really boring. I think I might have to paint a new livery around the lights. Start at the lights and work backwards.
Do you know what happened to Mark Hutchinson earlier on?
No, where he was...
Because he was doing really well, and now he's not. Oh, Livingston is trying to get past Ayach. Oh, they make contact and into the wall goes Faisal Ayak, who led this race for so long, but a spin first by himself at the bus stop, and now a crash.
Oh my
and now
God.
One of the worst rejoins that you'll see all season have really put any chance at a decent result to pay.
Wait,
He's staying calm about it, at least.
Did he cross the bus stop at 20 kph? There was like he. Oh my God. Oh my God. All right, we get a replay of the incident, and obviously the rejoin was awful. Because you can pick a side. You can just drive on the grass either side.
Yeah. That does mean that Friesek and Hodgson move up to second and third in the AMS.
So you was asking about Hutchinson. I was just going to quickly look when all that kicked off. I mean, he's up 4 from his quali, but yes, he's down
But
like 10 from his net position. Yeah, you're right.
I think he was fighting for like second in the prams. Oh, here we go. Here we go. Oh, what a move from Michael Hooper. Great move. He's been waiting for that for a while. He's had to be patient about it. But that time he just got a little bit further ahead. And when he got half a sniff of it, he was not going to let go. And he's up to P7 now.
Wow. Yeah, that was really close. Inch clear.
It's always a satisfying move, and it's one that you really only see in the sim racing world. I'm sure it's happened a few times in real life, but in real life you don't tend to be willing to go for moves like that.
Yeah, I mean, if you're going to hardcore send it, you just got to be on the left. I think that's the rule. You can't. If you're on the right, you're always going to come off worse if things go wrong. If you're on the left, then.
Oh, like this.
Yeah.
Well, this time on the right works all right for Jonas Simpson. He's up to 24th. I think with damage after hitting the wall on the previous lap. Oh, that's a dive. Can he get that stopped?
Yeah, that's impressive.
He has. Fantastic stuff. We're seeing some great moves at the end of this race now. That's Mark Hutchinson up into 19th now. He's recovering because he was battling, I think, with like a Bio and Mola earlier on was Hutchinson, I believe. But he's far from that now. And he won't get any more places, but 19th is not a bad effort for him.
Yeah, great move. Yeah, I'm not sure what happened to him, but yeah, you're right. I'd say he's down about 10 from peak. But yeah, I'm not sure what happened.
Oh, we're going to see another move on the outside of the chicane here.
Don't think so.
He half thought about it. I mean, Hort did not carry a whole lot of speed into the corner, but it was enough, and he's still in 5th place. Not with bad pace, honestly, right now as Finn. It just looks like the Delachaz automated by Major's garage driver behind is that little bit faster.
I'd never put 2 and 2 together that Delachaz, the team, and Delachaz, the setup maker at Majors, is the same thing.
Mm. Oostland after the spin at this corner. He can maybe see 3 places coming his way. Glenn, Delgado and Tellman. Tellman's done well too. Tellman's going forwards, I think, rather than backwards. Oh, on that last lap, but he did lose some time to the drives behind. White flag is waving. And
wow, that came around the end quick.
And Racing Lab Esports are on course for a perfect start to this season.
Yep. An all forward 1-2 lockout from the team. Because their other driver was Nicholas Agard, of course, who was inside the top 5, I believe. Got caught up in that rather nasty... not for top 5. He was second in AM, is what I meant to say.
I think so, yeah. Second in Pro-Am.
Pro-Am. Yeah, I got there in the end. Hopefully we don't see anyone need to splash.
Final lap for Oostland to get up another place. I think it's going to be 1 place as far as he's going to get. Tellman is really struggling just at the head of this train. He did only take 2 tyres. Delgado behind him took 4 tyres. Delgado had a problem at the start, set fastest lap of the race at one point.
Whoa. Some overspeed from this Ford here. Very overspeed.
I think he's going to get clear. He's already ahead. And should he carry with enough confidence into the bus stop, he'll take it. He's up to 11th for Delgado.
Oh, the Audi didn't...
For Abithu,
yeah.
Is he going to lose a place? Here comes Hooper. And Hooper's going to get past. And Kleinecht is going to get past as well. He's going 3 wide. Kleinecht sees a gap.
He didn't...
And that might lose him the place. Why did he do that?
I don't know why he did it.
He's gone to the inside.
Yeah, just follow the other car through.
But out in the lead, Anders Meyer. He was one of the favourites going into this championship, won many races, but he's looking for his first title, and that is the way to start the season. He takes it 2.6 seconds ahead of his teammate Rousset, Racing Lab Esports, with a 100% score tonight. Chris Van Den Nesse pushes them hard in 3rd place. Schilling will be top of the Pro-Ams, but there's many other battles going on down the order, including that one. And Vin Glen with an awful end to the race.
Oh, I was just about to report that Vin and Rasmus Oostland were swapping and trading on the standings.
Oostland with a very chaotic evening. He had the pace, honestly, for 4th. But will finish far from that and might well get a penalty.
Yeah.
Oh, Ibithu has, I think he's got a drive-through on the last lap, but you can't
So's
serve
Pierre.
on the last lap.
I think Pierre went into the pits as well.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's what I meant.
Sorry, I've just seen it. Sorry, yeah.
He's tried to serve the drive-through. It doesn't do anything. So he'll
No,
get a
because
40-second post.
you can't drive through because you finished the race.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Like, imagine doing that at Manucore. You'd gain time if you tried to serve it on the last lap.
Yeah. I think you're quicker to finish at the line because you're quicker and then you lose 40 seconds rather than drive down pit road, lose 20 and then get 40.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, one will hope that he would...
I hope we can get a replay of that Glyn. Right, so Aaron Broderick up 24. I think that's the biggest gainer of the day. Yeah, biggest gainer of the day was the leading stat, right? I think we agreed.
Sure.
Anders Meyer, what a display though. Pole, led comfortably. I didn't see any mistakes. His average pace was brilliant. He never needed to push. He kept that gap safe for him, so he never had to look in the mirrors. Fastest pit stop. Very, very impressive. And obviously, Van der Nesse got a bit unlucky there with Eric Rosseth. Drew the pit stop phase, but I mean, Eric drove a brilliant race. Yeah, top three were in their own pro division on that race.
I think so. And to be fair to Eric, he sort of earned that luck, didn't he? Because Chris had to take the early pit stop. And the reason why I think it was worth taking or saving fuel and going that extra lap was so that you didn't get caught up in the traffic. And that is what happened to Chris. He lost a couple of crucial seconds, and that was enough for Racing Lab Esports to take the 1-2. By the way, thanks to everyone in chat who was supporting Jonas
Big crowd
out there. Max Johansson and Broder. Very proud of 24th place. Top half. Not top half, bottom half of 47 drivers. But yeah, on the cusp. So well done to him. Right in the middle. Very average from him there. Well, let's have a look at the final standings then for this first round of the championship. And here's Meyer, who wins out ahead of Rosseth. There's Van der Nesse shilling top of the pro-am, so I won't go through all the standings. Abayo up to 6th by the end. He really looked after his tyre as well. He, under the radar, gained a lot of places in the second half of the race. And Mola was the last driver on the Pro-Am podium, quite spread out in the end, those three. In the AMs, it was Broderick, who was in 15th place ahead of Freisek. And Hodgson was in 3rd place, Freisek and Hodgson, benefiting from late incidents for IACH and Co. There was, well, I don't think Ibithu lost a place on that last lap, so I don't know why he came into the pits. I don't think he got a post-race penalty, so yeah, bizarre that one. But yeah, well done to everyone who managed to complete the race. And just a reminder once again of the new championship that's coming to Apex Racing League, which will be happening on Friday evenings as well as the Apex Racing League GT3 trophy, and that is the Apex Racing League Endurance Championship, of course, this season sponsored by our fantastic partners at Abruzzi, and we'll be offering many different prizes, including sim racing hardware, also apparel and cash prizes as well for everyone who, well, not everyone who takes part, but it's an opportunity for everyone who takes part to come home with some of those prizes. So do check out that web address below, apexracingleague.com, in order to check out more details about the series and put your name on the grid. Let's have a chat with a few of our drivers. Who are we going to talk with? Who has joined us? I'll let you have first pick.
I get first pick?
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Nice guy.
Well, I've got lots of questions for Anders. Anders, can you hear me okay, mate?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Excellent drive, mate. Obviously, congratulations on a very dominant display. Pole to win, fastest lap, fastest pit stop. Yeah, so congratulations. Talk me through it. How did it go? Did it execute to plan, or was you surprised at the pace and consistency you can maintain above your rivals?
First of all, thank you. Yeah, it went over any expectation I had. I've been having a break from sim racing since since spring, because I had a bit of a bad run and I thought I have to do something, so I just took a break from it. I still practiced, but I didn't participate in any races or anything. So I felt really good coming into this evening. I enjoyed every second of practice. It's our first proper race together with Ford. So yeah, the plan from lap 1 was to try to get enough of a gap so they didn't have strong enough draft behind, and that worked exactly how I wanted. So after that, it was all about fuel saving and tire saving because the track was really slippery today.
Yeah, you execute that perfectly. Obviously, that's the side I'm always interested in, is the fuel, the tyres, and the race strategy. And I saw you were maintaining about 1.3, 1.4 seconds to your rival, Chris, all race long. Then, obviously, you went nice and long in the pit, nice and long on track. Obviously, you got to use some of that low fuel where a lot of your rivals boxed because they just were struggling with their tyres. So they probably figured fresher tyres were the right call. But yeah, you showed them that looking after your tyres and going long, running some low fuel was the key there. The Ford, you mentioned your first time. Are you enjoying the car? Obviously, it looked great in yours and Eric's hands there. But yeah, talk me through it. How did you find it?
Yeah, I enjoyed every second of driving the Ford around here. I was a bit, I haven't really tested the car against any other cars because since the car came, we just wanted to focus on that. So I didn't know how it would be compared to the other cars, but I saw in the BLP test that Apex had that it didn't look that good. So I was a bit, but yeah, it felt great. Tires were manageable all race. Fuel saving was pretty easy with this car without losing too much time. And that's also a factor with this car because it uses a lot of fuel. So you have to fuel save quite a lot. But yeah, the car is great. It's still pretty new, so it's still things to learn and get used to it. But so far, it's really good.
You and Eric competing in the 6 hour tomorrow, I hope, in the Ford?
Yeah, me and Eric are doing the 6 hour.
Ah, awesome. Best of luck. I think you guys, you might even make it in... No, I suppose split 2, right? Because it's such a small teamed event that top split gets flooded, right? I think you need to be almost 8K, probably.
Yeah, we're not the best at doing officials, so we suffer a bit from that. We have some work to do for the summer to get the rating up. But yeah, I'm sure we'll do the best we can in the split we end up in.
Awesome. Great chatting with you. Has anyone like to give a shout out to?
Yeah, I want to give, first of all, a big shout out to Ford Norway. First race with Ford, first 1-2 for the team. Obviously, it's such a great partnership. And thanks to Racing Lab, both Racing Lab.no and Racing Lab esports, CarX.no and SimiCube, our partners. So, and thanks to Apex for another great season ahead.
Awesome, Anders. And again, congratulations on a end-to-end dominant display. Yeah, so congrats.
Thank you.
Cheers. Anders there, very dominant from the off.
Yes, well, very good performance from him. I've been trying to figure out who Shadow 04 is, but it's David Schilling is available for a chat, and we will have a chat with him now. David, congratulations! What a debut in the series. P4, was that sort of the result that you were expecting?
Thank you very much, guys. I think I was I didn't expect this, honestly. I thought I was gonna be far off pace. So, yeah.
Yeah, it was a really fantastic performance. I mean, we saw you qualify really well up in P6 in the early stages. Then you seemed to fall back a bit to 9th, and then after sort of the 10-minute mark, you just seemed to be storming your way back through. I mean, what was sort of going on in that first 20 minutes from you seemingly struggling a little bit in the early stages to being one of the fastest guys out on track not too soon after?
Yeah, at the start, the tires were a bit of an issue. The tires heated up pretty quickly, and then they started to fall off a little bit. But after they normalized, it was beautiful. The car was gripping in nearly in every single corner. I could keep a pretty close distance to the guys ahead. So, and then after that, as the fuel went down, the natural pace also, the raw pace also just went up.
Amongst the pros, it seemed like the 2-tire strat was the most common approach, but you went for the 4 tires. Was that something that you were planning before the race started? And do you think it was the right call?
Yeah, I planned it before the race. So at the start, I went with a lower fuel load, and then I went into the pits. I thought I was gonna need more fuel, to be honest, but the fuel saving brought my refuel amount down by 5-6 liters, I believe. And after that, the tire change was just perfect with the amount of fuel I needed to put back into the fuel tank. So yeah, that was like immediately as the car dropped, I could just pull away, and it was a lot of help. But then I got held up behind a pro guy. I think it was in the Porsche.
I think it was Joel, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think it was Joel. Yeah. And then there was an amateur guy also, AM class guy behind him. So he was nicely using him to defend me off.
Yes,
So-
but yeah, you managed to get past and held on against Finn in the closing stages. Congratulations, David, a really good result tonight. Is there anyone you want to give a shout out to?
Yeah, I would like to give a shout out to all of our sponsors in the team, and obviously my parents and my friends for believing in me and cheering for me. So thank you everyone very much.
Yeah,
Awesome.
nice job.
Well, thanks for having a chat with us, David, and see you back next time.
Yeah, see you guys next time, hopefully.
Yeah.
David Schilling there, top of the Pro-Am Drivers, 4th place overall. I think we have time for one more interview. Who would you like to...
Don't make me pick.
I'm making you pick. This is from the same team.
Yeah, obviously I'll grab Eric, P2. Hey Eric, how you doing?
What's up, guys?
Yeah, brilliant race, mate. Looked like you had to work for that with Chris, especially for the pits phase. Talk me through it. Was it a strat? Because obviously your pit stop was extremely quick. Was that always the plan, that you just hoped to not fight Chris and just follow him, because his pace was pretty good? You know, try and outsave him and grab him in the pit stop?
The plan initially was to do a better qualifying, to be honest.
Yeah, that felt.
Either start in front of Anders or beside him on P2. But I cooked the quality pretty bad, so didn't went to plan. And then at the start, I think I started. Did I start P5? Yeah, I started P5. Got one position into
yep.
turn 1.
Yep.
And then it was all about getting past the Lambo in front. It's not that his pace wasn't great, but Lambo is a bit slower than the Mustang in a straight line. So that bus stop overtake was fortunate that it went well. It was kind of close to not going so well, as you probably saw. But after that, it was just a matter of trying to cool down the tires a bit after some sketchy stuff going on, and then save some fuel for the pit stop.
Yeah, brilliant job. Yeah, your pit stop was about a second. I can't see it on my screen. Yeah, your pit stop was faster than Chris, and Chris got held up just as he was on the pit in lap, cost him maybe a second. So yeah, you came out about half a second clear. Must have been great though. You must be pleased, right, Anders, and yourself picking up a 1-2. First race of the season. Is this your first time in the Ford also?
It's the first league race.
Yep.
And actually not that many hours in the Ford yet. I've been working so much, so I haven't had the time to practice a lot beforehand. But Watkins we race at Watkins all the time, so Watkins is familiar. It was just a matter of getting familiarized with car.
Yep. Are you enjoying it? Is it are you enjoying driving it?
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's kind of a merger between the BMW and the Merc. I absolutely love the Merc, kind of hated the BMW, so it's a bit in between. But after a while, I think we'll sort it out with setup and stuff, and then we'll like it even more.
Oh, excellent. Great start to the season. That's some dominant team points there. Portimao next week, a track you're familiar with?
Kinda. I love the track though, but I'm not that fast at it. So it'll be interesting to see where we end up in the end.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a great, especially with 60 cars. It's going to be quite a sight, but no, a beautiful track. Anyone like to give a shout out to, Eric?
Yeah, I'd like to give a shout out to my friends and family for supporting, and also to Racing Lab Esports and racinglab.no, CarX.no, Simicube, and also Ford Norway to be exact.
Excellent. Again, congratulations, P2, dominant points, and you're going to try and take Anders next week.
Hopefully, but it's fast. So.
It is indeed. Congratulations. All right, we'll chat to you next week. Cheers, Eric.
Thanks, David.
Yeah.
Eric Rossett, runner-up tonight, but still managing to get maximum points for Racing Lab Esports. So I think that will pretty much be it for the interviews for today, but quick word on Portimao next up. It would be nice to go there for once, because we haven't been there in ARL so far, despite the fact that it's been around for a few months, the circuit. And I think everyone quite likes it, even in comparison to Le Mans. When we announced Le Mans was being taken away, most people were like, good.
Yeah.
I like Portimao more.
Yeah, I mean, I would say I think it can be a top 5 track of mine. It's just that stupid second to last corner, the downhill sort of half right, the understeers on entry, it won't turn, the rear snaps, it's awful. But I'm learning to forgive it and just learning to get through it. But yeah, it's a fantastic track. It has every element I like of a racetrack. It has the undulation, high speed, it has turn 1's a roller coaster, and then yeah, I think it's a great track. But that second to last corner, man, oh my god.
Well, that will be showing next week on Apex Racing TV, same time as this one. Of course, if you want to check out the Apex Racing League Endurance Championship, do check out apexracingleague.com. Check out our Discord server as well. There's a link to that in the description below. If you join that, then you can see whenever a new championship is announced, which is certainly worthwhile doing. So do give that a click. And yeah, potentially we might see you out on circuit in the future as well. Of course, please do leave a like on the video as well, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Check out our social medias as well on Twitter, Facebook and Instagram. But for now, from myself, Sam Fitzpatrick, and from David Sampson, we will say goodbye for now. We will see you in a short amount of time for the late Apex, but we'll see you back at Portimao in the Apex Racing League GT3 trophy for round 2 of the season next Friday. See you then.
Ciao.